Okay, that took me a really long time to get online, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't really eat all day, so I figured maybe I can play some League of Legends. Whether you guys feed or not feed, it doesn't really matter to me, because it's not like it's going to make me eat just because I win a game. I just figured it could be easier to sleep. To be honest, because every time I play League of Legends and then afterwards I'm always super tired. Rufus, if you're gonna keep looking, I'm gonna leave you on the ground. Oh, it is. Oh, this out. Okay. So yeah, I didn't have work today, and I don't have work tomorrow either. But I do have training for my new job, so um, yeah. Oh yeah. So I refused to put my phone away today, even though I turned it off, and he still wanted it to be put away. So that was just some like weird ass shit. Honestly, like, you want me to put my phone away even though I turned it off, which didn't really make that much sense to me, right? I mean, the whole point of putting your phone away is so you would turn it off, right? Like, isn't that the point of asking someone to turn it off? Is so like it doesn't, honestly, to me, it didn't make any sense. So that's really for I can't see. So like to me, the whole point of asking me to turn it off was so I would not use. I mean, the whole. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck this bitrate means. Like, what does it do? How does it affect my computer? Is it gonna like suck it out of my thing? Cause that's gonna suck. Support. Where are you bottom? Jesus. You guys gonna just say ADC? You guys gotta put bottom. Oh my gosh, I don't have the skills to play Yumi right now. Fuck it. 27% win rate. Ooh, that's depressing. Alright, so one thing I noticed is attack speed works pretty well, unless they changed it, then, I mean, I might be wrong. But, so yeah, thank you for reminding me. The whole point of, he suspended me for 2 days because I refused to put my phone away, even though I turned it off. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. It just seems a little suspicious, in my opinion, because I know there's like a lot of the I know like Infowars and all that stuff. They usually like say like, oh yeah, the government is like listening or like listening or whatever, and then there's people saying, oh yeah, Alexa is listening or like Google search is listening, and I'm like, honestly, like for being such a freaking, you know, I'm just saying like for me it's useful because I'm like sometimes, I need a little reminder what the fuck I was doing. But I don't know. I feel like these people are like, because you know how like, what is it? Alex Jones, thank you, was like in a drug-induced psychosis. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I've had times where like the owner would come downstairs and he would smell like alcohol, and like at first I was like, okay, this is a little suspicious. I don't know if I want to work under a person that smells like alcohol when he comes down. Like, I don't know, man. So I mean, I didn't really say anything, and then the Thanksgiving thing happened, and then now he wants me to put my phone away, even though like I turned off my phone. Like that just seems like a little bit weird. And then all this like Alex Jones thing, like, oh yeah, the government's listening. I'm like, but if you worked for the government and like, you know what I mean? Why would you be against them and try to hide from them? Like, wouldn't you want to support them? And like, just honestly, there's just so much weird shit happening at work that like, honestly, like, it's like putting like stress on me. And like at first, I came in with really good intentions, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help out this small business and then use my platform, and then be like, yeah, small businesses need like tax cuts and stuff. And then I'm starting to realize like these people don't really need a tax cut considering what they're doing with the tax cut. Um, So I mean, hey, I've already lost a few jobs because of managers and owners like this. So I mean, I don't think he knows that. I mean, I think he does know that I have another job. He just doesn't know when. So I think he's like trying to fire me, but he can't really fire me because of what I have in esports. Thank God you guys exist, because I swear to God, like back when I didn't do esports and I didn't have like this platform to ask people like, hey, is this shit normal? And before like anybody did anything with the whole protest and the abuse thing, and the Me Too and the Times Up stuff, like before all of that, like I worked at Jamba Juice, right? And that manager straight up fired me. Well, no, he didn't fire me. He just like never put me on the schedule ever again after I refused to smoke weed with him. And back then, weed was not like legal to the point where, well, actually, you still cannot share your weed. Legally speaking, you're not allowed to share your weed. Like, if you both have a license, you're not supposed to share the weed. Like, you can be smoking your weed and they can be smoking their weed, but legally speaking, you're not supposed to like share it. You know, you can't be like, oh yeah, pass me the blunt. Like, no, you get arrested and lose your license, your medical reference, whatever thing. So legally speaking, you're still not legally allowed to share, even if you guys both do have doctor recommendations saying that, oh yeah, you know. Legally speaking, you're still not allowed to do that. So don't ever tell people you're fucking sharing your weed, dumbass. Don't do that. um. So yeah, there's just like really weird things, you know. Like anybody can say, oh yeah, we're well. Actually, I think it's really okay for me. I know a lot about fake valors because you know I do have. I think I have two friends who are either married to a Marine or enlisted in the Marine. So, and they're both women. Well, one is woman because she's married to a Marine, and then the other person is she joined the Marines because education was just not for her. So I actually have very high regards for the Marines because I feel like they gave her a family. And you know, I used to smoke weed with her, but seeing how she's like married to another Marine now, I feel like you guys really gave her like something she can actually hold on to and not be rejected like she was at school. So I actually have a lot of respect for the Marines because of that. Because I think after she joined the Marines, she like, you know, she didn't really ever do anything bad ever again. I don't think she, you know, like drinking's not bad, okay, but like I don't think she's ever smoked weed again or done anything like that because of you guys. So for me to see fake valors and people who say, "Oh yeah, I'm part of the government," when they're really not, and they're just using it to scare people, like it's I don't like that. Yeah, the Trump administration, I think they got rid of the whole Fake Valors Act and like just allowed it to fucking roam, and I think that's why there's more and more people pretending like they work for the government when in reality they don't. But that's also why like I'm trying to explain to you guys because I feel like it's very important to understand just because they say they're part of it does not mean like, you know. Yeah, and I understand from like a normal people's perspective where it's like kind of the job of the government, and I think that's why sometimes I'm like, what's the point in joining the government when like they're not even gonna back you up after your years of service, you know? So like, I'm just putting that shit out there. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? No, I'm just saying there might be some veterans that are gonna side with you guys because they don't, you know, they can't say anything and they're very, very loyal to the situation, or like they're like they don't want to be exposing the government, I guess. So they're just like silently suffering, and that's why I was like, you know, should also consider it from their perspective sometimes. But I don't think I healed you because you walked out of it. I know. I told you I was a liability. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not the best player right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's just some weird shit going on at work, and I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. And I don't really want to be part of it anymore because, like, a lot of the reviews, what I was talking about on Twitter, thank you, was like, if you read a lot of the reviews of where I work, they're like, oh, the manager does this, the manager does this. I don't know who manages the place, but like, I try to ask the owner because the manager, and then if you look at the timeline, after a while, it just became like manager, 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 manager. And I was just like, honestly, like, I'm not about to end up like her. Like I'm not about to be blamed for like all this shit that has nothing to do with me. Like if my owner tells me to do something, like this is actually why I wanted him to write me up because I was like, I don't want you to just say that shit and then send me home like nobody knows what the fuck happened. Like I'd rather you fucking write me up. And like I want a copy of that shit. Not saying I will show you guys, but you know what I mean? So even if you guys are like, oh yeah, well Christine did this, no, actually, I got written up for refusing to do something. No, this happens a lot in small businesses. That's why I'm just like, honestly, I'm so done with working with small businesses. Like, and I think today when I interviewed with Phil's Coffee, I was just like, honestly, like, if you guys are still a small business, I don't know if I want to be associated or even apply or even want this job because I don't want to be responsible for like you still trying to figure out like what kind of structure you guys want to use. You know what I mean? Like, like I understand this place has been around for a long time, but they also are incapable of retaining employees. And like after being here, I feel like that has nothing to do with like Trump or anything else. I think it's genuinely like how they treat people. And like the whole customer thing, like I mean, for the management to do it to me and I'm not even a customer, like imagine what they would do to like a legitimate customer? I told you this was gonna be a hard game, man. It's not that I'm too heavy. I don't think we have any synergy. I don't think we have any synergy, man. Oh my gosh. I already used my flash earlier. Oh wait, you probably didn't know I used my flash. I bet you guys were like, "Oh yeah, I just flash, Christine." No, I don't have my flash. Thank you. But yeah, there's just I like when I'm done with this place, I will talk about it. But as of right now, like I still have to deal with them, and like progressively, it just gets worse by the day. You know what I mean? Like we all know damn well that nobody ever fucking does shit. Like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of why I was like, in terms of a situation like this, I feel like Hell's Angels does a fucking better job than the FBI, considering, you guys can't do shit, right? I mean, considering how many people Jordan Belfort fucked over, sorry, before he was actually prosecuted, and like how many people lost money, you know what I mean? Like, you, it like, I don't know how to explain this, but like, Thank you. I think Jordan Belfort still has not paid back all his victims, right? So like, can you see why like I would actually prefer Hell's Angels because they're kind of, you know what I mean? Like, if Hell's Angels is anything like Sons of Anarchy, like yeah, I would much rather fucking pay, you know. I'm just saying like if Sons of Anarchy is anything like Hell's Angels, then I mean yeah, I think Sons of Anarchy does a way better fucking job than the FBI does because they don't let bad shit happen to people. You know what I mean? They don't wait until everything's fucking gone to be like, oh, hey, maybe we should fucking act on this before people get hurt, you know? They'll be like, okay, this person's creating a problem and we gotta go deal with it before he creates a bigger problem. You know, that was like the whole concept of Sons of Anarchy. So if the Hells Angels is anything like that, I mean, no offense, but I think I would much prefer the Hells Angels to be the police instead. You know what I mean? No offense, but if Sons of Anarchy is anything like Hell's Angels, then yeah, you know, I think Sons of Anarchy does a better job at policing and controlling and protecting citizens than well the police. So, and the FBI is not really to blame because they follow regulations, and the regulation says you cannot arrest or do anything to anybody until like further investigation or like probable cause and all that shit. That's why I was saying like if the FBI could do something, then Jordan Belfort would probably not have scammed so many people. You know what I mean? Because the FBI had to build up their case, so during that time of building up their case, a lot of people got scammed. And I mean, if you watch Sons of Anarchy, they pretty much catch everybody before they're even, or even, you know, and that's a lot more powerful than the FBI, in my opinion. When it comes to like reality and stuff, you know, like I just felt like the Sons of Anarchy had more control and more protection for people that they lived with. So, yeah. I'm not like supporting criminal organizations, but if the FBI is unable to do their job when they want and how they want, even though they see that someone is a danger to somebody else, then I mean, then I think there's a problem with the system, first of all, and I think there's a problem with the system, and I understand the FBI is actually supposed to be like the second tier of like checks and balances, but like the first tier is not really doing a very good job. No offense, but yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like, if the Sons of Anarchy is anything like the Hell's Angels, then should I just ask the Hell's Angels for help instead? Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that would be a better idea. Maybe I would be safer as a citizen than like if I was to continue relying on the FBI when I know legally there's nothing that they can legally do to protect me until something bad happens. Don't follow me. No, I haven't been playing long enough for it to actually be a problem because I don't know if it's just me being fucking retarded. Like, it actually there's a problem with it, you know. Oh my gosh, how the fuck did that even work? Yeah, I do think that it is a lot less gold, but at the same time, like these things don't really build anything into anything useful. Like, but this is, I feel like this is so much less. I mean, I guess they gave me health again. Not, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know why you want me to place a wood, man. You know damn well I already placed my wood. I ain't got no more wards. Oh, that's why you didn't want me to heal you that way. Sorry. I actually genuinely don't care if I win or lose right now because I have not been playing long enough for it to actually fucking matter. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, you can keep walking into those bushes and asking me to ward, but we all know damn well I'm not gonna ward. So, whoa, did you see that shit? Alright, anyways. So you guys gave me shield, attack damage, heal, and what is the end product? 500, 400, 600, 150. Wow, so you guys actually buffed this? But, oh god, you guys wanted to see if, oh my god, I would go with holy fuck, it's gonna suck. That's all I gotta say. I don't think, I mean, yes, it definitely balances it, but that's also why I don't want to use it, because it's so balanced. Like, I like to use things that are broken, clearly, but, and, oh yeah, and I haven't been playing as long, so it doesn't, how am I supposed to, oh, I can't even break the game if I don't play this game. So how am I gonna? Oh, I wasn't. I was just gonna get some content up. So my idea pretty much is to stack up enough to the point where my revenue on streaming and YouTube and whatever other fucking thing I have coming in, like when I have like a stable enough thing where I don't have to have a legal job to sustain my marketing income. You know what I mean? So like everything will balance itself out. I don't sell stocks. I marinate. Well, you guys got to give me one that I can just marinate with because, yeah. Anyways, why don't I just buy legit stocks? I mean, I think the whole point of crypto was not that. So, I'm just letting you guys know right now. but, but yeah, as soon as I have enough, like, everything and all of that, then I will eventually quit. But until then, which might be a while, because it's not like I'm gonna die and, like, just quit or anything, and plus, like, no offense, but Linux tech tips, Linus tech tip. Honestly, you guys look so fucking bored out of your goddamn minds. Like, I understand as a person, but I don't think anybody else understands how fucking bored you are. So I'm really in no hurry whatsoever. Would I be like 40 and working at? Yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, I don't understand. Is there anything else I can be doing? And I just don't understand your question. Clearly, but anyways, yeah, and by that time I can come and play this game like all fucking all day, and that would be my job, you know? But until then, I want to see like how long it's gonna fucking take me on like a minimum wage salary and not working full time. Like, I just want to see. Well, why would you guys need to do anything special for me when like this doesn't make any sense? Well, salary jobs, they don't pay you every week. They pay you one salary and you marinate in that. If you spend it all, you're fucked. So I don't know what your question is. Hmm, interesting. This started with the whole gin thing with no max. I can't carry shit. I haven't been playing for like anything. Like, I'm honestly pretty excited to come back and just like catch up on everything. I wonder what kind of complaints I'll have. So the thing about that is I need to be, sorry, that was an auto. I need to be close enough, like, say, if I'm here, right? You see, it doesn't work. I need to be close enough. Anyways, um, I mean, clearly that's not that hard to figure out, right? So, stuff like that I can figure out. It's just like a lot of the technical stuff that gained me the respect that you guys gave me. I won't be able to do that unless I play the game. Sorry. Yeah, and the whole flashing thing, I can't do it. Like, even though I'm winning and doing all this, like, it might be going more backwards than forwards, to be honest. But, yeah, so we're just gonna have to marinate and play the life game. You know, like, life game, you know. Motherfucker! See what I mean? This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, imagine if I actually was playing this game, like, on a you know, like, I wouldn't have died. But guess what? I'm not. I haven't been playing. So, you know what? I'm dead. Alright, how do I even buy this? Can I buy this? Hello? Hello? I would like to purchase this. Thank you. But I can't. I don't know how. Oh my gosh. And I'm not buying items. Oh. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is just so bad on so many levels. Just don't know what I'm doing! No, I purposely played this so you guys wouldn't boost me. Alright, anyways. No, that's why I picked Yumi first, but then I was like, nah, you guys are gonna have, like, it's gonna be way too fucked up. so, so I was like, alright, let's just play this champion. Alright, oh yeah, I still know how that shit works. But, no, I kind of figured League would make me happy, even if it's, like, losing, because this, for me, it's just funny, because I'm just, like, honestly, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and, like, oh shit. and, like, you know, I'm just here to have fun. So I'm sorry if you guys came here to win, but I don't know if I can win anything right now. Oh, look at this! Turning into Jinx's ult. You know how, like, Jinx's ult doesn't do jack shit? you know how Jinx's ult doesn't do shit, and it just, like, freaking just... That's what this is now. Alright, I don't care if it's, like, from 50 patches ago. I'm living my fucking life, okay? And honestly, You know how like a lot of YouTubers like after a while like no, it's because you're so smart and you're so capable of doing things so fast that you do things way too fast. See, this is what my family and parents and teachers that really cared about me has always taught me about. They're like, moderation is key, Christine. And I'm like, honestly, really, is that really the fucking point? Because we're just all trying to fucking win, right? So what the fuck is the point of moderation? And look what happens. Look! So, I'm trying to moderate with the salary job. I mean, minimum wage job and fucking credit card debt. You know, I'm trying to be moderated. Moderation? Yeah, I think. Look what you made me do. Why am I building tank? Because you guys want me to get so goddamn close that like I don't know how to fucking save you. Yeah, see, this is just like way too much of playing your champion all the time, and I'm just not playing at all. So like, I don't know what to do right now, but it's not going good. Anyways, um, am I discouraged? No, not at all. It just shows that League of Legends really is a what is it called? Mechanics heavy game? No. Reaction? Okay, so what's really fucking me right now, you guys? Is it the reaction or is it the mechanics? Because it's not the items. I mean, I build like this naturally, anyways. Like I feel like this is pretty close to what I usually build, anyways. So I don't think it's the items. I think it's my reaction and my mechanics. Yeah, and where I decide to go on the map. That's just probably not the best idea right now. So, yeah, I think you guys should really consider that when you are trying to balance the game or when you're trying to figure out what the real problem is. Because guess what? I can't win the game, and it has nothing to do with scripts. It has nothing to do with the items. It has nothing to do with the fucking champion. It's just because I'm freaking incapable. That's about it. And why am I incapable? Because I have no mechanics. Well, I've always been an intellectual person, so I don't know what you guys are talking about with the wins and shit, because I've never given a fuck. These people look like they like to hide in bushes. Sorry. Why did I stop jungling? I mean, maybe when Riot gives me back my fucking runes, man. I guarantee you I'll be back in the fucking jungle. You didn't think Riot would just allow me to have another Soraka Q, did you? Because I highly doubt they're ever gonna let that come back. I'm telling you, man. It's very, very important. Like, people say, oh yeah, items, champion, balance. Like, do you see anything wrong with champion and balance right now? Like, hello. They're very balanced. There's nothing wrong with the champion. But guess what? This is the problem right here. This one. This. So, I'm just letting you know. It's not the welfare of the game. It's just, like, as a developer and as a programmer, like, you don't really need bullshit. So, as a fellow self-taught programmer, enthusiast, whatever fucking other fancy words you want to throw at it, like, that's why I do this. Because I'm like, nobody's ever fucking truthful. And you start fixing shit that has nothing to do with anything, and then you're just like, damn, why isn't my shit working? Oh, I don't know, because you fucking listened to the wrong fucking person. That could be fucking it. Alright, anyways. No, thank you. Whoever mentioned painkillers or whatever, yeah, that happens a lot with like medical shit because they're like, oh yeah, you're treating you're treating their addiction, you're not treating their symptoms, you know? Like, if they're having stomach aches, they're not gonna fucking tell you because guess what? You're not gonna fucking give them the drugs anymore. So, of course, they're not gonna fucking tell you, oh, yeah, you know, painkillers give me ulcers. It's like, duh. They want more painkillers, why would they tell you? Wow, that thing took like years. And I have a shield, so what the fuck? Honestly. I don't even know, man. Oh, I'm still on cooldown. It's not that I'm not healing you. I'm still on cooldown. Alright, anyways, I actually don't have a lot against college kids. I just question how smart you are because you're still able to stay in college. Considering everybody else with half a brain has quit. Oh my gosh. I told you we were gonna lose this game, didn't I? I told you. I was like, you know. Oh no, man. No, Lucian tried though. He was just like, honestly, this is like way too heavy for me. Oh man. You know, if it was like the good old days of me playing League of Legends, I would have hella helped. Like, as long as the person didn't like purposely run it down, or like, I wasn't purposely running it down either. That was the funny part, is that I'm not running it down. I'm actually trying to play the game, but I just cannot play. You know? So, like, no, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you need to spend hours and hours and hours and hours playing the game. Because if you don't, then you cannot do, like, you know, like, oh, God, I don't know how else to explain this. I'm not playing dumb. I'm not pretending to be dumb. It's not the mouse. It's not the computer. It's not anything. It's not the scripts. Literally, I cannot play the game. Like, I don't think you guys understand. I cannot play the game. It has nothing to do with scripts. It has nothing to do with the champions. It has nothing to do with the items. I just cannot play the game. Why? Because I haven't been playing it. Oh my gosh. Not trying to flame the situation or anything, but I don't think they're wrong. Ow! Look how cute this thing is. It's freaking adorable. Look at it. It's like a little Pikachu. But it's not. I'm reading the emails and the shit. The winner is Thai. Oh, it's Taiwan, not Thailand. Okay, please. What the fuck are they doing? Fuck is this? This has nothing to do with the game. Connecting. Dot dot dot. This is dumb. Oh, hello. We got Ash. Why do I always pick ADC? Just don't judge me, okay? I am just getting back after a fucking month's break, okay? It's gonna be a rough start. You guys, please, have some mercy. Pity? Have some pity? Or does it have some mercy? It means pity. Have some pity? No. Have some mercy? No. Never mind. It's okay. You guys are hella funny. You guys are like arguing in chat like why the fuck this thing is hella awkward. You guys are so funny. Um it's okay. Are you a cute girl? Oh god. Oh god. Mute. You know, it's really confusing the fact that you guys want to put a space in here. Like it's not this, right? No, no, no. It's this. Right? Like if I put a space in there, if I don't have a space, it just blows my mind. Alright, anyways, Does it make me want to eat? Food was paid act. Oh my gosh, it's a 34-minute wait. What the fuck are you guys doing? Jacking off? I mean, am I allowed to make that joke? Am I allowed to do that? Why do I say old age or whatever? Because you run. Okay, maybe not a lot of people's gonna understand this, but you run out of things to do. You know, like after a certain age and after a certain thing, you just run out of things to do. You know, and then it's like if you don't do it while you're young, then like what are you gonna do when you're old, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how else to explain it, but that's pretty much what's going on. Oh my gosh, this is such a low level. How else can I fuck myself? Let's play Lulu. Alright, dude, I'm like purposely picking like the worst of the worst supports. That are just like really bad choices. Alright, so yeah, playing Lulu is probably like the worst idea. I should have probably played like Sona or like Karma or like Zyra or something because Lulu against TF and Shin is just I just cannot think of that as being a good idea. But I mean, you guys might think it's a great idea. Whatever, okay. But I'm pretty sure it's a bad idea. I mean, if we win, I'm just gonna say I'm boosted. But if we lose, you guys are just gonna hear me bitch more about how I need to play this game more because that's just the reality of it. I really do need to play this game more. So like, what's the point in denying the facts? Oh my gosh, we should totally talk about Doug Collins today. That was funny. Okay, so his supporters are probably gonna like harass me and shit, but considering like all the white supremacy terrorism, I think I'll be fine. But let's go to YouTube and is there C-SPAN? The C-SPAN update? It was funny because I was watching it and I was like, hey, you know, you guys don't really have it. Have your YouTube? This is still online. Are they gonna flag me for copyright? Chat is disabled. Oh my gosh, they're still going. I actually want to watch this. I'm not even lying. Like I legit actually, I actually enjoy watching this. Like, you guys might think I'm weird, but I actually like watching this. You guys can say and do whatever the fuck you want, but I like it. Oh shit! No, they didn't. They close? Yeah. Oh my gosh, no, they didn't. It's 9:04 p.m. and they're back. They're back at it again with more C-SPAN. Dude, I feel like I'm a really toxic person. Ooh, it's lit.
I know a little bit about the Salem witch trial because I'm from Massachusetts. And here's a little more history about Massachusetts.
Ooh.
It was our forebears who were killed in the Boston Massacre.
What?
Fired, shot, heard around the world at Lexington and Concord. It was our Commonwealth that stood up to a tyrannical king and insisted that rights come from the consent of the governed, not the whims of a monarch. In his letter, the president even writes,
look.
I have no doubt that the American people will hold
Oh, bitch, what the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
2011.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
This is not about his re-election.
A boat.
It's not about anyone's political future. Our founders handed us a fragile thing more than 200 years ago, an experiment in self-government, a fledgling democracy.
You know, I'm having like the biggest history lesson right now because you guys all know I fucking hate history, right? Well, if you don't know, you do now. So.
Congress are willing to stand up and protect that fragile idea that has been entrusted to all of us. You know, we shape this democracy day by day, vote by vote. Some votes are more arcane than others, but each and every one
What's that even mean?
the kind of country
What is it? No, I do not have makeup on. If you can tell, I have no eyebrows, and usually when I don't have eyebrows, I don't have makeup on. I think he couldn't figure out what he wanted to say.
I don't know if
Oh no!
But if he were, I would say
Oh.
this is not about you.
Ooh, might be a good idea. Wait, no, hold on. I can't support feeding. Am I gonna get banned? Cause I know who watches me.
The ideal of a government of by
Don't ban me, Ryan. I didn't support it.
if you can keep it. I began this hearing by quoting those famous words from Benjamin Franklin.
I don't think a lot of people understand what the fuck is going on.
But I am proud that when history called upon us, we
No
fought to
thanks.
keep the vision of our founders alive in our time. We fought to keep this republic intact.
Run away.
So, this has been a long day.
Oh man, you know when your parents are really frustrated and they don't want to tell you they're frustrated, they're just like, ugh,
As I said before, I'm
ugh.
every member of this committee. We, I think, showed that you can actually have difficult discussions.
May
Be
we?
civil and be serious. And,
Oh, sorry.
and I think no matter where we fall on this issue,
I'm sorry, man. It's just so serious all the time, man.
I thank everybody, and now I ask.
Let the tenant Texas House of I don't know who the fuck he is. I'm sorry.
Question motion offered by the gentlewoman from Pennsylvania.
Woo!
All those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion is free to.
What are we agreeing to?
The yeas and nays have been requested.
I just love saying it. I don't really know what I'm agreeing to.
Aye. Mrs. Torres. Mrs. Torres. Aye. Mr. Perlmutter. Mr. Perlmutter. Aye. Mr. Askin.
Aye.
Oh my goodness. I like Mr. Askin.
Aye. Mr. Rowley.
Askin is so smart.
Aye.
Mr. Layla. Aye. Mr. Desonier.
Aye.
Mr. Desonier. Aye. Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole. No. Mr. Whittle. Mr. Whittle. No. Mr. Burgess.
Oh my gosh, you guys are savage.
No. No. Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman. Aye.
Clerk report the total.
What?
Yeas. 1 yeas.
The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Accordingly, I will manage this rule for the majority. And I thank everybody,
Sorry.
and without objection,
Wasn't my job to protect you? Oh god, I'm sorry. Try to protect.
I agree, Jason. Understood. Sorry about that. Thank you. Without objection, the committee is adjourned.
Well, what the fuck, man? I gotta miss everything. Oh, did they let Texas speak? Did they let Texas speak? That's the real question. Oh, I thought that shit was over. So I was just talking shit. So I guess it wasn't over. So I guess I couldn't really talk shit yet. So, sorry. I don't really know the schedule, like, ever. Even if you tell me, I probably still wouldn't know. Unless it has to do with money. Then I'll pay attention. Oh my gosh, Caitlin. Oh, I like how hard you go. Yes! Dude, there's so much fucking depression right now, Jesus. We need happiness. You know, Joker may be a fucked up person, but he never cheated. I don't want to see them shake hands. Just fucking weird. I mean, it's great. Right? Not sure. Oh man. Honestly, I should just really keep my opinions to myself, but honestly, like, the other half of the time, I'm just giggling away. So, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, this is gonna be my last game, because my hip is hurting so very much right now. So, I'm gonna... No, dude, I swear to God, office jobs, like, I feel like I have an office job now, and I feel like it, like, literally hurts my body, how long I have to sit and not do anything. So, there's just so many more negatives than there are positives, so... Is this thing really over? Can I see if Texas spoke? Let Texas speak.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine,
Oh, yeah.
withholding $400 million that Congress approved to help Ukraine defend itself unless Ukraine helped the president dig up dirt on his political rival Joe Biden was the last straw for me.
Oh,
People's lives and our national
this is
security
Colorado.
were
Who the
placed at
fuck?
risk. This is more than hush money for strippers or profiting from foreign governments, staying at resort properties, or even obstructing justice, as laid out in the Mueller report. The founders fought and died for freedom and independence from a tyrannical ruler and a foreign government. Impeachment and removal from office was the remedy they included in the Constitution to
Right.
act as a check on a
You
president
guys realize,
who placed
like,
himself above the law
they might not actually know what remedy
and invited
means.
foreign governments to get involved in our domestic affairs, especially our elections. A president who flaunts the separation of powers and checks and balances in our Constitution, and who refuses to allow
Constitution?
before Congress
Hey!
receive our founders' universal condemnation. Treating taxpayer money as his own
I always get in trouble. What you mean?
quote, favor from a foreign government to aid him in his re-election goes to the very heart of concerns raised by our nation's founders when they drafted and advocated for impeachment to act as a check on the awesome powers of the chief executive. For instance, Madison said in Federalist 47, quote, the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary, in the same hands may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. He went on to say during the Constitutional Convention, quote, the executive will have great opportunities of abusing his power. And further, that a president, quote, might betray his trust to foreign powers. George Washington's farewell address warned of foreign influence and corruption, which leads to the, quote, policy and will, close quote, of America being subjected to the policy and will of another. Alexander Hamilton wrote in Federalist 65 that impeachment, quote, proceeds from the misconduct of public men, from the abuse or violation of a public trust. Following in that, the USA Today editorial board stated it perfectly when they
The Constitution and all of this stuff is actually online available, like, literally everywhere. You don't even need to read it from a government site.
trade American arms for foreign dirt on former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Trump resembles not so much Clinton as he does Richard Nixon, another corrupt president who tried to cheat his way to re-election.
Oh, Watergate. Oh.
It is precisely the misconduct the framers had in mind when they wrote impeachment into the Constitution. Close quote. Impeachment is the remedy the
Close
founders
quote.
placed in the Constitution to remove a president during his or her term of office. This is especially true when the misconduct involves
That's on you, bro!
the president invited foreign participation in our election at least 3 times. First with, quote, Russia, if you're listening, close quote. Second, with his demands on Ukraine to, quote, do us a favor, close quote. And third, with his request for China to get involved in the 2020 election by starting, quote, an investigation into the Bidens, close quote. Any further delay or simply allowing
Wait, he doesn't have to say open and close, but I can see why he's saying that due to legal obligations.
impeachment was designed to prevent. For the sake of the
Gosh, why don't you guys know this? Oh, wait, hold on, never mind.
free of foreign interference and our national security, President Trump should be impeached.
But isn't it the same? Because nobody taught you. But how the fuck did you find out?
Honestly, and to my friends,
So, isn't that the
we
same?
have very different opinions about this. And we work up here in the room
God damn it.
a lot of hours.
Fuck!
One another.
Can I just lose?
For me,
Like, can you guys just play better, please? Like, for the love of freaking life.
disagree more on this. And I would want to compliment my friend. My guess is that as an attorney, and I kind of come off with that country attorney kind of approach, and a number of us think of ourselves as kind of country attorneys. My
I
first
told you they were lawyers!
general proposition to you, sir, is, and to you, Mr. Raskin, you, as an attorney, understand
What?
the
Because, as you would say, the clock is ticking. Would you agree with that, Mr. Raskin? Well, the clock is ticking on the 2020 elections. And I think we would all agree
Today's!
that if
Alright, sorry.
impeachment were
I have
held
to.
in July or August or September, drawn way out, that time is of the essence, that would really affect
Oh my gosh.
the 2020 election. So, I appreciate
Would it be
the
better if we
gentleman's,
just don't move?
statement that, oh, this has been rushed, there just hasn't been enough time, and all of that sort of stuff, but time is of the essence. And this instance began, at least what started it all, and Mr. Hastings introduced this into the record, a memo of July 25th,
Momo!
19,
Hey!
generally
Memel.
transcribes, but not completely transcribes, the President's conversation, or parts thereof, with President Zelensky. And, we were talking about it, and you used the word transcript. Mr. Hastings said memo.
Memel!
Of a telephone conversation, and it's not a verbatim
Oh,
transcript.
sorry.
What goes down at the bottom, the word inaudible is used to indicate portions of a
Oh, I'm listening. I just don't want to listen.
unable to hear.
What?
Well, I'd like to have you ask you a question, Mr. Collins, and you too, Mr. Raskin.
Uh-oh.
Just in terms of the completeness of this document, because I think that this document, even with things that are not transcribed, is a pretty damning piece of evidence against the president. And then I think Mr. Mulvaney's comments a month later saying, oh, we do this all the time and get over it, that too is damning. But the president says, I would like you, this is right.
He looks like such a salty guy right now. He looks so salty.
Zelensky says, we are ready to continue to cooperate for the next step. Specifically, we are almost ready to buy more javelins from the United States for defense purposes. The president's next words are, our president, I would like you to do us a favor, though, because our country's been through a lot and Ukraine knows a lot about it. I would like you to find out what happened with this whole situation with Ukraine. They say CrowdStrike, ... Gentlemen, in your experience, what does ... mean? Mr. Raskin, I'll start with you. What do ellipses mean? Yes. Something's left out. Well, yeah, so right.
Whoa, yeah. Yas. Yas, bitch. Yas.
And I assume Mr. Collins.
Oh, that's funny.
I will say, yes, okay. So then it goes on. I guess you have one of
Oh my god, I'm dead. ... He hates it. Oh my god.
They say Ukraine has
Whoever said parents don't like me, you're fucking insane. I just said I don't want to meet them. Not because, oh, they don't like me, but because I'm scared that they're gonna be like, you know, you should marry my son.
for our defense.
You're great. I'm like, no. No. So, no, it's not that I'm scared of your parents. There's nothing like that. It's just I can see it, and it gives me a lot of pressure. Okay?
So, this document, and Mr. Burgess was going into the classified nature of why was everybody down in the intelligence room downstairs, just looking at it on its face, it says, and it's crossed out now, apparently it was an inadvertent error, but can you tell me
Oh my gosh, you see why I write like this?
up at the top there's a cross out, and I think underneath the cross out
Oh
is
god.
secret.
Oh my gosh, this is like me doing math when I was a kid. My mom and my dad would be like,
Do either of you know what those means?
And I'd be like, oh no, not again.
It's not only put out public, we don't only transmit the telephone calls between two world leaders, and our president doesn't do that. And in order of transparency, he did it in this case. That means it's a
So,
classification.
so this
That's just so bad. So many levels. Why is he still trying to answer that question? Oh my god, why? Just fucking admit that you're wrong. Stop embarrassing yourself. Why is he like this? Just admit it. Shut up. Oh god, he's like every single white guy, and why I won't like. Okay, so let's put it this way instead of shitting on him constantly, like I can. Everything about Doug Collins is what I hate about men, white men. Okay, the way he's arguing with this guy is why I would be terrified to bring this guy home to my family, because it's like, what is this guy gonna do to my fucking family? They're gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Your dad's the real fucking problem. Let's fucking kill him. You know? And it's like, Jesus.
Of the president's designs on President Zelensky, you add that on with everything that came before and everything that came after, and it's all uncontradicted. To me, it looks like it's case closed. Let's talk about July 26th, the next day. I think that's a good idea. The day after the president called Ambassador Sondland.
That's just hilarious.
But he's part of the three amigos who were working on getting Zelensky to do the president's will. Okay, he called Ambassador Sondland to ask whether President Zelensky was going to do the investigation. Ambassador Sondland stated that President Zelensky was going to do it and would do anything you asked him to. And then he famously said, "He loves your ass." According to David Holmes, who overheard the conversation, or part of the conversation, Ambassador Sondland and President Trump spoke only about the investigation and their discussion about Ukraine. There's nothing about the war, nothing about corruption, and so on. And after Sondland hung up the phone, he told Holmes
You
that
motherfucker.
President Trump, forgive me now, I hope you're not watching the video, told Holmes that President Trump did not give a shit about Ukraine. Rather, he explained the president cared only about the big stuff. The big stuff was the stuff that benefited him personally, like, quote, the Biden investigation.
Whoa, whoa! Wait, where'd Caitlyn go?
This is not an Agatha Christie mystery. There's no alibi. There's no alternative hypothesis of the facts. The president went after exactly what he wanted. And we know that our president is very capable of stating what he wants and telling people what his will is. So let's talk about that for a couple seconds, and I know, Mr. Chairman, you'd like to get moving. But
Oh, I never said I was gonna be slow to learn. I love chasing. Like, chasing is really fun for me. That's why I like to flirt, and then people get really mad.
Correct. And his job was, I think his words
Sorry, it's
were,
not funny.
gather information about Ukraine's internal politics, foreign relations, security policies, and report back to Washington.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing?
To foreign contacts and advise the ambassador on policy development and implementation. I think that comes
Oompa loompa.
Yes.
Doobity-doo.
So going back to the questions I was asking Mr. Collins
Oh, man.
about the secret nature of
I'm sorry.
the memo, at
See,
least
this is why I'm not allowed to be, like, fucking doing certain things. See, this is why they ended it before I could watch it. And made me think.
Holmes, I think, testified, quote, contrary
Look at that guy. That's like what my dad would do. Be
to
like,
embassy received
well,
a call and he was
I am not
unaware
proud of this.
what was discussed until the transcript was released on September 25th. Is that your understanding? Say that once more. That he, Holmes, was unaware of what was discussed.
Oh my gosh!
No, it was ordinary procedure that he would get to know something like that until this thing was.
I think he has really
2 months later,
amazing
correct,
fucking
taken
memory.
out of the top secret server. That's right. And my recollection is he was not on the drive, even though it was an supposed inadvertent error to put it in the top secret server.
Wait, what?
So,
Wait, what?
kind of gloss
Oh,
over
I'm
a
so
couple
confused.
of kind of cruder terms that Sondland and
See, this is why normal people like me should just stick to hourly wage jobs so we don't have to have the responsibility of dealing with this.
could he not, the phone conversation between Ambassador Sondland and the President Trump. He could hear it. Okay? And I think his testimony was Ambassador Sondland went on to state that President Zelensky loves your ass. And then President Trump asked, so he's going to do the investigation? Ambassador Sondland replied that he's going to do it, adding that President Zelensky will do anything you ask him to. And then your remarks
Wait,
about
why are
whether
we
the
winning?
President cared about Ukraine or not, but his actually is
Oh, God damn it.
I noted that there was big stuff going on in Ukraine, like a war with Russia, and Ambassador Sondland replied that he meant big stuff that benefits the president. The Biden investigation that Giuliani was pushing.
Run away! Okay, well,
A couple more things that I think have to be
no.
discussed. And
Hopefully,
that was
it's
Mr.
down to
Taylor
like, ooh,
mentioned this.
10 minutes. Thank God.
Individuals who testified, and by the way,
Oh,
I
sorry.
said my friend, Mr.
Commercial.
But he said, "Oh, we didn't get any witnesses." Well, you had Mr. Kastner, you had Mr. Turley testified, and then the Intelligence Committee, if I am correct, had at least 3 witnesses that were Republican.
Where's Texas? Where did Texas speak?
Individuals who've been public servants, working in the intelligence community, the State Department, a whole range of things over the course of decades under both Republicans and Democrats. And Mr. Taylor was one of those. 2 in the Judiciary Committee and 3 by the Republican minority, less at least 5 witnesses. And the president was invited to present a case, which he refused to do. I appreciate my friend raising that. What you heard from the ranking member today is he was given choices by the chairman. Take it or leave it. You can invite a law professor of your own choosing, but you cannot invite a witness of your own choosing. You cannot bring the fact witnesses, any fact witness, to this hearing. That's what this section and to the chairman's point. So if the gentleman would yield again. So the gentleman's making a distinction between the examinations and depositions that were taken in the Intelligence Committee
Uh-oh.
versus what was done
That's what it is.
in the Judiciary Committee.
No!
Is that how the gentleman is proceeding? No. I say to the gentleman, I'm only taking the rule on its face. Minority members on the committee have the right to call witnesses of their own choosing. That right was not offered or granted. And it goes on to say the chair may set the day under a reasonable schedule. It could well be that the chairman is absolutely right. And when we decided that the schedule must be reasonable, we decided that scheduling the hearing after the bill has already been passed and sent to the Senate was reasonable. But I don't believe that we believe that. I believe every one of us knows that is not what we intended. There are bills on which moving and playing fast is of their own choosing. That right was not offered or granted. And it goes on to say the chair may set the day under a reasonable schedule. It could well be that the chairman is absolutely right. And when we decided that the
Oh my gosh. Caitlin, what the fuck? Look what you did. Are they taking another break? And then are they gonna come back again? No, you see why I said let Texas speak now. I would hate those chairs if this was my job. I'm like, never want to see another mahogany fucking chair again. Don't you bring that mahogany near me. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? What is this game? Dude, what the fuck? How do I build it up? I don't know! Earn 1,000 gold? Oh. Oh my god. That would make a lot of sense. This is at 4? Oh my gosh.
Fences. The permanent select committee. The conclusions embodied in these are
It's live
sovereignty
today.
of the people to the private political ambitions of one man, the president himself. It immediately placed the national security interests of the United States of America at
Oh
risk,
shit, I'll be playing.
and it continues to embroil the nation and our government in conflict. Second, after this corrupt scheme came to light, and numerous public servants with knowledge of key events surfaced to testify in our committee region, they're still moving forward today. What I cannot decide is a legitimate reason why. Why the majority's moving forward when the process is so partisan. Why they're moving forward when the American people are not with them. Why they're moving forward when they haven't proven their case. And why they're moving forward when there's no basis for reason. Why? Why put the country through all this? It makes even less sense to me when we consider the realities of the United States Senate. We already know that the votes required for the Ukraine to get the aid, and never mind that the two participants in the famous conversation, President Trump and President Zelensky, said nothing inappropriate happened. We have to be The Rules Committee will come to order. The Rules Committee will come to order. It's unfortunate that we have to be here today, but the actions of the President of the United States make that necessary. President Trump withheld congressionally approved aid to Ukraine, our partner under siege, not to fight corruption, but to extract a personal political favor.
Have you guys read Animal Farm?
Ukraine's president in the White
I know it's banned and stuff, but
all the while,
it's a pretty good book.
the very nation holding a large part of Ukraine hostage, the very nation that interfered with our elections in 2016, had yet another meeting at the Oval Office.
If you want to talk about personifications in fiction, I would prefer Animal Farm.
Facts. We listened to the hearings. We read the transcripts. And it's clear that this president acted in a way that not only violates the public trust, he jeopardized our national security, and he undermined our democracy. He acted in a way that rises to the level of impeachment. That is why we are considering HRES 755 today, a resolution impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Congress has no other choice but to act with urgency. When I think back to the founders of this nation, they were particularly concerned about foreign interference in our elections.
Do they have food?
They understood that allowing outside forces to decide American campaigns would cause the fundamentals of our democracy to crumble.
What?
But the evidence shows that is exactly what President Trump did. Not only
Boring.
allowed, but solicited.
You guys never let Texas speak.
Found in the intel report that was filed on pages 45 through 47, and then at
I like her. Pennsylvania.
critical conversation. President Trump and President Zelensky all said everything was fine. No pressure was intended, none was felt. This process that we're engaged in is one thing. We'll have a vote tomorrow, maybe I'll succeed. You occupy the majority here, I respect that. But we're here because I think
Fucking Caitlyn!
we said we will not go down the road of impeachment unless it's bipartisan.
Why does Oklahoma talk about my grandpa?
And we are precisely here. 11 months from election where the American people can and will make this decision. But I want to conclude, Mr. Chairman.
Oh no.
A lot of people
Oh
say
god.
that these numbers
Whoa, where'd my mouse go?
mostly
Okay, that was the last game. Am I gonna report? What is there to report? I don't understand. I just suck. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to report besides I suck. Alright, anyways. What the fuck is this? Ooh, I feel like a Pokemon. Play 4 games. Match made. Play 30 games. What am I even getting out of this? What is my prize? Ow, my shoulder! I feel like mopping floors is hurting my body. It's making me really messy as a person, too. Like, I just don't feel like cleaning anymore. Like, ever. Because I'm always fucking cleaning at work to the point where I don't want to clean anymore. Like, my house is a fucking mess. My room is even more of a mess because I just don't feel like cleaning. I'm so tired from work. Ooh, finally clickable. I like. He's a man, I don't care. Damn it! What the fuck? You baited. No. Tomorrow.
Thank you, and I want to thank the gentleman from Oklahoma for his kind words. And I want to thank all members of this committee, Democrats, Republicans, and all the staff that have put in long hours during this week. But they've sat here all day and conducted themselves in a very serious and thoughtful manner. I had a number of people say to me that they were surprised that despite the difficult topic before us, that what they observed play out on TV was relatively civil. And so I'm proud of this committee too. And we have strong disagreements over the matter at hand. I think the president behaved in a way that is.
I'm sorry, guys. You guys don't think this shit's funny. Ow.
Did go to Ukraine, but only after he got caught with holding it. While this committee was meeting this afternoon, the President of the United States sent the Speaker of the House a letter on this impeachment process. And Ms. Lesko earlier asked unanimous consent to put it in the record. I'm not sure how many of you read it, but it's 6 pages long, and it essentially amounts to one long Twitter rant. He calls impeachment an illegal coup, and he claims, quote, more due process was afforded to those accused in the Salem witch trials, end quote. I mean, are you kidding me? Innocent people were tortured and hung. Their corpses were thrown in shallow graves. An 80-year-old farmer named Giles Corey was literally placed between boards and crushed to death. I mean, for the president to say that he is being treated worse than the Salem witch trials is unhinged, just like so many of the missives on impeachment. I know a little bit about the Salem witch trials because I'm from Massachusetts. And here's a little more history about Massachusetts. It was our forebears who were killed in the Boston Massacre, and who fired, shot, burned around the world at Lexington and Concord. It was our Commonwealth
Thank you.
that stood up to a tyrannical king and insisted that rights come from the consent of the governed and not the whims of a monarch. In his letter, the president even writes, and I quote, "I have no doubt that the American people will hold you and the Democrats
Okay.
responsible in 2020."
So, remember when I tweeted
The
this?
president just doesn't get it.
There's supposed to be balance of power, right?
It's not about anyone's political future. Our founders handed us a fragile thing more than 200 years ago, an experiment in self-government, a fledgling democracy.
Separation of power, sorry. Separation, oh fuck. No, thank you. So separation of power was coined by the 11 whatever separation something. In federal government, Article 1, the United States Constitution establishes the legislative branch, which consists of the Congress.
Some votes are more
Right
arcane
here.
than others, but each and every one helps decide the kind of country we're going to be. So voting on impeachment is particularly important. It will define our democracy from
I don't need to go to
here on out.
school for this. Jesus, you guys are fucking
Not a
annoying.
single Republican today even hinted that what the president did was
No,
wrong.
that's why I praise you guys. Anyways,
It was wrong.
so,
And for me, I will
there's
say
three constitution provided a separation of power, right? It's called checks and
I would
balance.
say to him, Mr. President, this is not about you. This is about all of us. What kind of behavior we're willing to tolerate from whoever sits in the Oval Office. And whether we live up to the ideal of a government of, by, and for the people. A republic, if you can keep it. I began this hearing by quoting those famous words from Benjamin Franklin. No one wanted to be here today. But I am proud that when history called upon us, we fought to keep the vision of our founders alive.
Who the fuck is Ben?
We fought to keep this republic intact. So,
Oh,
this has been a long day.
Jesus.
Tomorrow promises to be a long day. Even though we had disagreements in this committee, as I
The
said,
Constitution divided the government into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. That was an important decision. Don't care. And set up something called checks and balances. That means no one branch of government can have utter ultimate control over the everything, right? So that means the legislative will never have, oh, shit. So, sorry. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty hard to not get this. No, that's kind of why I was like, I mean, you guys say you're rich, but then you talk like Doug Collins. Like, I can actually bring up and pull up the exact moment when he just started, like, I don't, it doesn't play. Let me see. I don't think it's gonna play. Let's see if it works. Why? Because I don't think they archived it. I think they wanted it to be... Oh my god, it worked. Alright! I don't know if I'm supposed to be here right now. But, I'm here. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite fucking part. You guys can remove copyright strike this out. I don't really give a fuck. I just want to share with you guys this section. Oh my gosh, his face is way too big. Okay, this is 151.21. That's a lot of... Okay, 151.21. This was my favorite part of the whole entire impeachment thing. I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, I don't actually know how to do this. Considering I don't really even know what the fuck I'm playing on. Where is this one? Hold on. Let me try to figure out. Oh, oops, that's turning off. Fox. Is the ox? Nope. It's not on. Let's just play something. That is not it. Also not it. Nope. 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 Sonic? What the fuck? Ouch. I don't know what it's supposed to be connected to, but my axe ain't working.
Oh, she was fantastic.
Oh my
I
gosh,
wish everybody in public office could hear how normal, average, reasonable people think.
Okay, right here.
I think our friend is summed up the entire thing. They've used it in a way as an order to
Oh my gosh, he represents us? Sorry. No offense. Speakers, high definition. If you do not, you may no longer able what? What the fuck? Okay, I don't understand this. I mean, I've already typed my password because I'm retarded, but. Oh my gosh, is it really that lagged out? How am I supposed to figure out where the fuck I am? Oh, wait, hold on. I don't think... How do I use this? How does this work? I don't think... How do I use this?
They are very, very sophisticated at propaganda that, as Mr. Raskin said, its ultimate goal is to disrupt democracy and have us basically destroy ourselves. Because Mr. Putin believes the worst thing that happened to Russia was the implosion of the Soviet Union and Glasnost. And he sees the mass of men and women as incapable of governing themselves.
How do I
to
use
us
this?
sitting here, they are very, very sophisticated at propaganda that, as Mr. Raskin said, its ultimate goal is I think we all believe, whether we're conservative or liberal, that is the opposite of what we live for, what people have sacrificed their lives for. So Mr. Putin wants us to be fighting each other. They've used social media to govern them. In one culture, that such devices should be necessary to control the abuses of government. But what is government itself but the greatest of all reflections on human nature? If men were angels, no government would be necessary. If angels were to govern, neither external or internal controls on government would be necessary. In framing a government,
I think people like Doug Collins is why so many people just don't want to go to school anymore. Look at my dog stare at me. Okay. All right, but
government which is to be administered by men over men, the great difficulty lies in this. You must first enable the government to control the governed, and in the next place, oblige it to control itself. So our failure to control ourselves as a Congress for the difficulties of the time make me think that the consequences of our decisions and the inability to hold this president accountable and constrain him properly under the Constitution is not a hypothetical. It's something we're going to have to deal with in the days to come and before the next election, while foreign actors and domestic actors try to disrupt our democracy. So, Mr. Raskin, Professor Raskin, what do we do after this decision? How do we constrain the administration and properly balance that with the needs of this institution?
You ask that at 6:50 p.m. That's a big question, Mr. Desaulniers, but I'll try my hardest. Let's see.
30 seconds left.
Mr. Collins, if you want to jump in, I don't think it's a hypothetical. I'd love to hear your opinion.
I'm going to give it my best shot. First, what are the consequences in terms of the 2020 election? That's something, now, let me say this. I don't want to assume the inevitability of your premise that we're not actually going to deal with this problem. The House of Representatives has been immersed in this. We know a lot more about the facts. We know a lot more about the details. And now it's going over to the Senate. And I want to believe that 100 senators are going to adhere to their constitutional oath, reflect on what that means, and then be open-minded, critical thinking jurors in the process. Okay. But what would happen if we don't deal with it, if we all just go home and say, hey, you know, authoritarianism is on the march all over the world, democracy's on the run, there's only so much we can do at this point, and we don't deal with it? Well, I think President Zelensky's got to be watching, Ukraine's got to be watching. From their perspective, they're in the middle of this. I mean, all of us are sort of acting like, well, President Trump got caught, so of course they're not going to go through with it. But if we let him go, why won't they go through with it? Why won't he have to go through with it? Why won't he have to make his announcement about the Bidens, and then for his own domestic political consumption, he'll have to go through with an investigation? We've just set a new precedent there, a new standard that the president can go and try to recruit foreign governments to get in our campaign by threatening, announcing, and engaging in criminal investigations of their political opponents. That's banana republic stuff, right? That's tin pot dictator stuff, but we've set that as a standard. So that terrifies me. Here's another pattern that we've got to deal with. Robert Mueller came to testify before the House Judiciary Committee on July the 24th. And as the president mentioned on the phone call on July 25th, he thought basically he'd gotten away with everything, right? Mueller found a sweeping and systematic campaign by Russia. He found more than 100 contacts with the Trump campaign. But Attorney General Barr had taken the report for 3.5 weeks, and he had said to America, there's nothing in there, nothing to be seen here, prompting not one but 2 letters of protest from Special Counsel Mueller, and yet it was too late for democracy to catch up, to have a serious, rigorous analysis of what was in the report. And on the very next day, President Trump has the phone call with President Zelensky and says, but do us a favor, though, kind of putting the icing on the cake of this whole effort to drag them in to our domestic politics. That's a pattern, because if it can be done to one struggling democracy, it can be done to another struggling democracy. And if we can allow one tyrannical, authoritarian despot like Vladimir Putin to come on in, the water's warm, well, why not others? Why not Turkey? Why not the president's friends in Saudi Arabia? He already basically whitewashed their assassination, murder, and dismemberment of a Washington Post journalist. So what big deal would it be for them to say, come on in and get involved in our election campaign? So that's a serious problem. Now, what about, you say, the pattern about checks and balances? It's interesting because the phrase checks and balances appears in the Federalist Papers not to refer to the 3 branches. It's not legislative, executive, judicial. It refers to the House and the Senate. And those are the checks and balances we should be thinking about right now, because the people's body will speak this week. And if it goes the way I hope we will go, We will impeach this president for abuse of power. We will impeach this president for obstruction of the Congress. But we are placing our faith, as the Constitution obligates us to, in the Senate to do their job. But what that also means is place our faith in the people to make the Senate do their job, because we're politicians and we know that we don't respond exclusively and entirely to the will of the constituents, but we do a lot. That's an important ingredient in representative democracy. But look, in Congress itself, we cannot be afraid of our own power. One thing I disagreed with, I think I heard one of my majority colleagues today say, is we've got 3 co-equal branches. And I've been trying to correct this from the very beginning. Our framers, the founders of America, overthrew a king. And in the first sentence of the Constitution, in the preamble, they stated what America was about. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility,
Okay, so clearly there's 3 levels of the legislative branch, right? There's the House of Representatives, there's the Senate, and there's the Congress. He, I think, is part of the Congress, not the Supreme Court. That's different. Okay, follow me here. So, I think they're part of the highest court that is in America. So, for you guys to not understand a single fucking word of what they're saying, except for certain individuals who may or may not have family background like this, just makes me kind of want to latch onto you guys, because if the theory and the hypothesis, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, nature versus nurture, you're obviously nature. And no matter how much we nurture, they still don't get it. So the fact that you don't actually have any genetics and no, like, predisposure, whatever other biological fucking term you have, the fact that you guys understand this without an education just pretty much proves the fact that nurture will never ever have it. Like, for some fucking reason, you guys fucking understand this, and I don't understand how. Like, I understand from my family perspective how I can understand this, but how the fuck do you understand it without a family background? And that's also why I guess I'm kind of raised this way, or like, I don't know. But anyways, so I am personally amazed because you guys understand this, and you guys have no background in this. And yet you understand this, but you have no education. So, like, how? You know? I mean, obviously, but that's besides the point.
provide for the common defense.
Oh yeah, and the reason why I brought this up is what he's speaking about, right? He said, we the founding fathers. Like, I swear to God, he can memorize almost anything. Like, exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's because I watch CSI, but that's besides the point. The point I'm trying to make is, thank you, he is probably someone that I would actually super admire. At first, I didn't really like him, but then I was like, okay, don't be a bitch, Christine. Don't just judge people based on, like, what they look like, how they speak, or who they are associated with. Listen to what the fuck he's saying. And that's why I made that tweet earlier saying, you guys might think he sounds Republican, but he's actually a Democrat. Like, clearly, he says D, Maryland. That means he's a Democrat, you guys. Alright, apparently none of this shit is taught in school, so you don't know what's going on, but like I said, this guy, I mean, okay. Thank you. Just absorb into how he speaks, the amount of knowledge he has, and his ability to memorize the Constitution. And just keep that shit in mind as we watch Doug Collins next.
General welfare, and preserve to ourselves and our posterity the blessings of liberty, do hereby ordain and establish the Constitution.
Oh yeah, and another reason why I brought this up is because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they're just crackheads. They created these laws. So I know a lot of you guys say this, but you have to understand it's more of people like Doug Collins that's the problem. It's not really people who, I mean, I don't even think, what's his face? the person who's like, yeah, sorry, I left you like 30 seconds. Try to answer it. Good luck. You know, like, there's a huge difference between, you know, the laws that they're preaching about is obviously made for the people, but whatever the fuck Doug Collins is doing clearly is not made for the people. And sure, fuck it, whatever. So I mean, no offense, but that's kind of why sometimes I don't like to be in Reddit forums, because you guys don't really understand what pure communism is, and sometimes it's just based on personal experience, whereas that's not really the whole concept here, you know? The whole reason why this impeachment thing is very important and why every single one of them has been citing the Constitution is because this has nothing to do with your personal fucking opinion. Like, it's supposed to be just as simple as facts. Like, I don't know where the fuck and how the fuck it became like this, but the whole reason why the American thing was founded, obviously I didn't go to school. I just fuck around and know shit. But my point is, the whole concept, thank you, of the whole American economy, the whole concept of American lawmaking, thank you, the whole concept of the American education system is because they dislike the British Empire and the oppressive ways of their thing, right? Because in British culture and in Britain, pretty much back then, it's pretty much, if you're not born rich, you're fucked. Like, that was it, right? So all these people came to America, and that's why I was so sensitive about Thanksgiving, because I'm like, I know the fucking difference. I know there's a lot of people who supported the Native Americans, and there's also a lot of people who did not support the Native Americans, thank you, and that's why there was American Revolution. That's why certain people were against slavery, and that's why some people were for slavery. And that's why I was like, it's fine, you know, be a Nazi all you fucking want, that's fine. But if you're going to incite, okay, maybe that was a big word. If you're going to stab somebody, that person's family is going to come and find you. Period. Right? That's why they never attacked you, because they know that you have family. You know, it's not like, oh yeah, they're too nice. No. The reason why they never attacked you is because they're like, what if they have a scary ass fucking violent fucking family like I do? Then that means I'm creating a war for no fucking reason, right? So they're not gonna fight you, not because they're like scared or anything. They're just self-conscious, being like, if I fight this person and this person has a fucking army like I do, I don't know if I want to fight that war right now. So it's not like, oh yeah, they don't have a fucking army. They do. They just aren't stupid like you and being like, oh yeah, well, they're too weak. Like, anyways, besides the point, has nothing to do with American Revolution. But my point was, thank you. My point pretty much was the way that every single one of these speakers, the reason why I wanted to link it to you guys, for you guys to watch it. And I mean, I was kind of, so this guy likes to procrastinate a lot. Okay. So he was just like, okay, I got to get through these lectures. I gotta do like a test tomorrow. So he was like, okay. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't say it, but he was like, I'm trying to watch the lecture. Like, because this lecture was like an hour or 2 hours like that. And he was trying to watch it within like 15 or 30 minutes. And I was like, what are you, I mean, I didn't say it, but he was like, yeah, I'm trying to finish my notes so I can do my exam tomorrow. And ever since then, I've always been like, oh, what the fuck? And then now I get it. But anyways, so yeah, you guys can watch it in like, no, that's what I've literally been saying that about YouTube. I was like, can you guys make this faster? Like, no offense, but no, yeah, some people talk way too fast. That shit just gets like jumbled up. But okay, anyway, so my point about this, thank you, is there's a lot of people that are crackheads, thank you, who are like, oh yeah, you know, these, oh no, sorry, not crackheads. Thank you for reminding me. There's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, the law is just made for the rich people. And I'm like, no, thank you. You have to understand the reason why all of this was created was because certain Americans were tired of British people oppressing them. That was the foundation of the American country. That's why certain presidents were assassinated, because certain people were like, oh yeah, now we can be the new British of people. And then they don't realize that, like, the reason why Britain is no longer the way they are is because they don't want to die like the French Revolution. Like, there's a reason why every single one of these countries don't want to repeat the same mistakes. There's a reason why Japan, their leaders are considered figureheads, because the triads were pretty much literally created because they were tired of being poor. And now the triads are like probably the strongest or the second strongest, considering Russia and the okay. Anyways, so No, this is why I hate history. It's not that I'm bad at history or that I don't know anything about history. It's just you guys are all fucking retarded and you keep doing the same fucking shit. So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty fucking tired of history when all you do is repeat the same facts. And I'm like, yeah, but you're still acting the fucking same. You're still repeating the same fucking mistakes. So what's the fucking point of you saying that you're better than me just because you remember some fucking dates? I mean, there's that. That's the good version. This is the me, fuck you version. So, on to the next thing. So my point is, like the good side of the American thing is, a lot of Americans did come over here into America and did not take advantage of, that's why Squanto and like certain people are like technically worshipped in a way. And not every single person is fucked up like that. And that's why I'm like, I understand the whole entire history behind it. And that's why I know exactly how to test if you're fake or real. So like I was saying, that's thank you. So there's a lot of like the British Empire stuff where like America does not want to repeat the same mistakes as their British people because they don't want to create that negative energy for the people. I know this has nothing to do with the Constitution. If I speak Constitution, nobody's gonna fucking understand me, just like how nobody understands you. And now I have to spend all my time trying to translate this shit so you guys can understand how they're not a bunch of fucking crackheads and how I understand a lot of you guys are like, oh yeah, the rules are made for the rich. Like, no. Like, there's a reason why certain people were assassinated, but that has nothing to do with them. Because if anything, if these people get assassinated, then you might actually have a problem. But even then, it wouldn't really matter because you guys have lived so long without rules that whether or not these rules exist, it wouldn't really fucking affect you anyways because it never fucking helped you. And that's kind of why I wanted you guys to focus on what Doug Collins says, and I wanted you guys to listen to what everybody else is saying. Because what everybody else is saying is if you read the Constitution, if you know the Constitution, if you listen to the Constitution, like they never stop talking about the Constitution. And when Doug Collins, thank you, when Doug Collins says something, he never mentions the Constitution. And I think near the end, one of the other representatives, he was saying how I understand you're a country lawyer. Like as a country lawyer to another country lawyer. Can you see like what the problem is now? And this is exactly why I never bothered really to finish school and I never really bothered to get a fucking job, and that's why I actually wanted to date Steve because honestly, I just don't care. I respect intelligence. And even Harvard had to go through this fucking reality check where their fucking inmates want to debate against their fucking Harvard debate team. Like, Harvard Law is probably one of the best fucking law schools out there, and they couldn't even win against inmates? Like, bro, no offense, but this was a fucking reality check, I think, for a lot of fucking people, especially at the Congress, thank you. Maybe not at the bottom, because there's a lot of layers to this, right? So, all I'm saying is you guys should probably learn the fucking difference. And I know the fucking difference. So thank God they fucking have C-SPAN. Well, actually, this is probably why they wanted C-SPAN to be public and why they have legislation and the federal FBI regulations public because they're like, we're tired of this shit and we're not taking responsibility anymore. But, like I said, try to listen and try to pay attention to every single thing they try to keep, like, everything that they bring up is not just, oh yeah, my personal opinions. It's not like, oh yeah, my personal take on this. It's the Constitution, I am citing the Constitution, I am citing the record of the phone, fuck. I am citing the phone record, thank you. I am reading directly quoted what was in the transcript. Like, they're not just pulling shit out their ass. They're like, I am citing this, I am reading this, I am exactly saying it word by word, exactly how it's written. So, like I said, you guys have to really start paying attention that it has nothing to do with, oh yeah, it's just the rich people. Like, Doug Collins is there. Okay? And as you can tell, the majority of them cannot just say, hey, fuck you, you're an idiot. But they're kind of like, hey, the Constitution is this. Hey, the Constitution is that. If the Constitution says this, then you should not be able to do that. And what does Doug Collins say? You fucking watch and tell me.
America. The very next sentence starts Article 1. All legislative power is vested in the Congress of the United States, the Senate and the House of Representatives. You see what just happened there? The sovereign political power of the people of America flowed from the act of constitution making into the Congress of the United States. And then you get
I think your concept of what a crackhead actually is clouding your judgment of what actually he is saying. What he is actually saying. Because what he is actually saying, he's trying to simplify the terms of the Constitution into something that you guys can understand, but I don't think you guys can really understand it because either you are too caught up on what he looks like, or you have no idea what he's saying, or you're just purposely refusing to listen to him because you support Doug Collins. So either one of those would really not matter. What I am trying to explain to people is the people who are like saying, fuck the government, fuck the rules. I'm trying to explain it to them. So whether or not you think he's a crackhead or not is not really going to be important to me because first of all, you have no power and you are really not a threat. And even if you try to threaten me with some terrorist threat, there's a reason why I supported the FBI from the very beginning. Because I knew that the FBI is probably going to be the branch that is the anti-terrorist thing. I don't know. I just read a lot about like FBI and Big Brother stuff, so I'm like, I could really use this to my advantage considering how everybody's so fucked up to me anyways, and these people are probably going to be like, damn, what the fuck is this? Because they see everything. Anyways, so my point is, like, I don't think you're actually a threat to anybody, actually. I think you're just a really salty person that's just really unhappy with their lives because I don't think you actually have any guts or any power or anything like that because no, I'm going to purposely say this because I want to see what's going to happen. But I don't think you actually have any power. Like, no offense, I'm not saying like, oh, you cannot just go suicide bomb someone. I'm pretty sure you're a suicide bomber just because you disagree with people and you get really violent because you disagree with them. Like, there's a reason why people really, really hate certain people for saying like, you should probably get used to people saying no to you. Or if someone says no, no means no. Like, if anything, I think you should be watched by the FBI because they're probably the only people who can legally access your information to make sure that you're not a fucking terrorist and you're not just going to go hurt innocent people because someone said no to you. So, yeah, you might not understand that, but I think a lot of people working jobs and getting an education that actually care about their jobs and that actually care about the government and that actually care about the laws, they're going to understand and they're going to be listening. And that's really all that fucking matters. No, I'm just saying that because it's like you guys are trying to get them to understand you, and it's like, really, what's the fucking point? Like, we all know he's a goddamn terrorist anyway, so like, what's the fucking point of trying to explain this shit to him? He's still gonna fucking try to bomb you and kill you, so like, why don't you just mark him as it is? Like, I don't fucking understand the point.
7 paragraphs laying out all the powers of Congress, the power of appropriation and spending, the power to regulate commerce domestically and internationally, the power to declare war, the power over the seat of government, the power over copyright, and so on and on. Even the power in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18, to have all the other powers necessary to the...
Just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure most of the FBI agents actually would be capable of doing this. They would be like, okay, well, Section this of Part this, you cannot do this, and Section this of this, you cannot carry that much marijuana, okay?
Enforcement and execution of the foregoing powers. And then in Article 2, you get to the president. And remember, in the Articles of Confederation, in the Articles of Association, we didn't even have a president, right? So they wanted to create somebody who would show executive energy to execute our laws, but that was the job, to take care that the laws are faithfully executed and to be the commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy in times of actual insurrection, right? That's the core of what the job is. And Section 4 of Article 2 is all about impeachment in order to make sure a president doesn't become a king. Think about this. Why do we have the power to impeach the president and he doesn't have the power to impeach us? And it was a great Republican president, Gerald Ford, who answered it. Here the people rule. Here the people...
You know, the fact that there's so many people, like, back in the older days that, like, you know, no offense, but this is why I would actually marry a white guy who actually knows how to carry on tradition like this, because it's like, some of this, like, you know how, like, Asians have this concept of like show no mercy kind of thing, whereas white people have this concept of showing mercy. And like, that's kind of why I was like, I understand that there's a lot of like oppressive ways, but at the same time, there's like the educate. Well, that's the non-corrupt way. But yes, you know, like Americans did give a lot of people of color like a system so they can work with. You know, whether or not those systems are actually working because of the individuals involved and in control of those specific branches is just another story. But in a utopic world where these hypothetical laws and hypothetical systems did actually purely 100% worked, then I mean, yes, I think the white people brought a lot of fucking sanity and a lot of fucking good ideas. No, that's why I was saying like individual cultures are very, very important, because what Asians are weak at, white people are very strong at. And I say white people because you think your culture is different, it's really not that different. You know what I mean? Like a lot of white people are like, "Oh, don't do this or do that," or like show mercy and be nice and give them a chance. And I'm just like, honestly, I don't know how the fuck you're doing this, because I just think it's a fucking bad idea. You know, and whether it's Americans or Europeans, you guys might not notice this, but you guys both show a lot of mercy to people, and I'm just like, honestly, I think this is a bad fucking idea. And you guys are like, no, you just gotta give people a chance. I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, this is not a good idea. But, you know, this is like a white people concept. It's not like a Mexican concept, because Mexican people are actually very much like Asians. They're very strict. Exactly. Thank you. The trunkless flying, does that look like mercy to you? Like, no, that's some white people shit. So, no offense, you know? But, that's all I'm saying is, you know, yeah, exactly. Our cultures, exactly. So it's a great idea. And well, the whole concept of black people always accepting other people is kind of the way that a lot of white people were at first, because they see what I mean? So I think America is just fucking beautiful in that sense, because everybody just takes the good parts of everybody's culture, thank you, and religion, and like, you know what I mean? Like there's Satanists, like in a, well, actually it is in esports. Thank you, good point. In esports, nobody really asks you for your religion until like someone really asks, and then it's like, oh shit, I can't believe I've been getting along with this person that has the complete opposite religion as me. Like there can be someone who's Catholic playing with someone who's a Satanist, and then it's like, you guys probably never even knew you guys were playing with each other until that moment where you guys actually asked and had like differing communication or whatever, and then it's like, damn, you guys have been like best friends, because otherwise, you know, you guys would have, you know. So the reason why I say this is because when you look at a lot of the cultures and like all of that stuff, like if you look at Christianity and Catholicism, it actually has a lot of Buddhist aspects to it, minus the vegetarianism. There's a lot of volunteering. There's a lot of like help people who are needed. Be nice to your neighbors. You know, respect other people. Respect things. I mean, I'm like kind of making it very broad, but the reason why I say this is because what he's talking about right now is how America is founded on pretty much mistakes. Like Americans, what he's talking about is based on the founding fathers or whatever fancy fucking words. He pretty much said the reason why Americans continue to be better than other people is because we pretty much learn from our mistakes. If something bad happens, we try our best to change it. We didn't like how the British people are, so we changed it, and now we are Americans. And I think that was the point of them constantly citing the Constitution, because they were just like, we implemented these laws. Our founding fathers reformed the rules. The reason why we do not want to repeat the same British mistakes is because we did this. And that's why every single one of them was citing the Constitution, because they're like, if you obey by this, or if you do this, or if you do this, and then it's just, oh my god, it's just like circles and circles. So,
in their representatives rule. So if the president were to be impeached, he doesn't go to jail for 1 day because of that. That's criminal prosecution. It's got nothing to do with us. But what we're doing is protecting the country and the Constitution.
Mr. Collins, you want 30 seconds?
I think my friend just summed up the entire thing for me. He did. We went on a whirlwind trip. He is a wonderful teacher. I would have loved to have had him in class. And went all over the world at a 30,000-foot level. You'd watch him along, and his oratorical skim down to touch the common man and come up and touch the wings of the gods. The problem is he never addressed the issue we're dealing with. And I think that's the very heart of the problem we have right now. It is one thing to speak in brash or rhetorical flourishes today, and and we're getting to an end, thank you, Lord, of dealing with this. But the bottom line is the question I believe you asked, where do we go from here? Mm-hmm. It's like the simple man who once needed to get his, it was, I used to watch it, and I know this may come strange to my colleagues on the majority side. I really enjoy The West Wing. I watch it, my family has watched it over and over and over again. And that answer right there, which I respect deeply, it is amazing. We differ on so many things, but actually, Jamie and I just get along very well on many other things. He's wrong, I'm right, but we'll deal with that. No, I'm kidding. But there was an episode in which President Bartlett was in.
So I know this is kind of toxic and everything, but just out of just editing.
Come on, pig! Piggy! Come on, piggy! See? So I've actually grew up in this city, but I actually studied this. And yeah, big, yeah.
Hit one of his rhetorical flourishes. And Toby asked him about a friend who had called about getting something fixed at the VA. And he went into this long story. If you remember this scene, he went into this long story about the red tape and that veterans had to come to D.C. and because they were tabled with red tape. That's where red tape come from. And Charlie, who was the body man for the president, looked at him. He said, "But Mr. President, all he wanted to know was how to get his wheelchair fixed." And I think that's what we're seeing a lot of here today. It's future. What is going on? What's going on?
Dude, I don't, man, dude, this.
President, all he wanted to know was how to get his wheelchair fixed. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot of here today. It's future. What is going on? What's going to happen? What happens tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow is you're going to vote the articles of impeachment. Probably after that, it's going to go to the Senate, which has been a predetermined observation from day one, not because of anything else. It's not going anywhere, and that's fine. That's the path we chose. But where do we go from here? This is my question. Because I think when you look at this, to simply say, and to come at it from the facts, which is the only way the majority can come.
I'm sorry. But can you see why certain people don't want evidence and how it makes you look very, very guilty? Because we can watch the Atkins, we can watch him like, what is it? Raskin? We can watch Jamie Raskin like over and over and over and over and over again. And, nothing's really going to change besides the fact that you might fucking understand him after the 50th time you fucking listen to it. But besides that, we can listen to this over and over again, and every single time we're going to find something new and be like, wait, what the fuck is he talking about? Because we can listen to this about 5 other times and be like, wait, what the fuck is he talking about? This has nothing to do with anything. This has nothing to do with the Constitution. This has nothing... Like, we can literally repeat this until we understand his every single fucking word. And it will not have a single thing, thank you, to do with the Constitution.
Is that the president did something wrong?
See, this is why they want to kill me. If I ever die, just know it's probably a Doug Collins supporter. And for a lot of them to be like, yeah, you know, like there's other supporters that are very violent. You mean how the Nazis killed the Jewish people? Because I don't remember the Jewish people killing the Nazis so much as Americans stopping it. And I don't really remember Japanese people really doing anything to hurt anybody besides the documentary saying that we don't want people to fight. So for you to keep dragging in almost every single criminal organization when they've made it clear that they don't really give a flying fuck is just kind of bullshit, you know? Because now you're dragging in a whole bunch of people who are just trying to live because of the things that you have done to them. Does that kind of make sense? Like, consider this, okay? The reason why there's Mexicans in America having to do or become criminals or sell meth is because of people like him who do not follow the Constitution because he doesn't believe that they should deserve whatever. And the reason why Lincoln was assassinated was because he wanted to stand up for the slaves, but then technically if they had just killed people like him, then technically Lincoln and all of that would have never happened, right? So, I mean, I don't really understand the problem here when all I'm doing is pretty much repeating history, right? Because, I mean, I understand, like, maybe back then when Abraham Lincoln was alive, there wasn't, like, this huge thank you mafia or this huge mob thing going on where people are pretty much forced by the government to create. Well, actually, was there bootlegging yet? I don't think there was bootlegging yet. Because I think when there was prohibition, because I know during the coffee and the tea thing, there wasn't, like, this huge criminal organization like there was when there was prohibition. Like with the alcohol and the bootlegging, like, hold on. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Oh my gosh, when was he assassinated? 1861. Okay, when was prohibition? Prohibition? Yeah, see, that's like 100 fucking years later. And I think since the prohibition of in the United States, I think that's when criminal organizations started to form. Like, I think most of the criminal organizations started forming around like 1900s. Let's see. What is it? Cartel. Sonola. Yeah, see, 1900s. What is it? Italian Mafia. American Mafia, sorry. Yeah, late 19th century, and then what else is there? Hell's Angels. No. It has to be Aryan Brotherhood. Sorry. Oh, I say Hell's Angels a lot because we're in esports and the whole Dread Pirate Robber thing, so I like to just purposely stir shit up. So it's 1964, so that's also in the 1900s. What is it? MS-13. I think that's also in the late 1900s. Yeah, so, I mean, Lincoln was assassinated before, like, any of this was created, and I think since then, there's just been the JFK. But considering JFK's assassination had a lot to do with, like, Marilyn Monroe or, like, just like a bunch of like weird shit, you know, like we shook Sinatra's. Anyways, so it's just like one really big messy like thing, and then how there was like another mayor who was like the Italian something inside the American mob. They were like, yeah, one guy was like trying to politician or something and got assassinated because, anyways. So, like I said, there has to do with, you know, after the whole Lincoln thing, maybe before Lincoln, there wasn't exactly, well, my channel is on politics right now. So, maybe before Lincoln, you can be like, oh, yeah, you know, it's not okay because you're an individual, but, I mean, it's, these organizations are still very much alive. And, thanks to your systematic oppression, they have just been progressively getting stronger and stronger by the day. Right? Aryan Brotherhood, like I said, and MS-13, these are like pretty much something you created because of what you've decided to do. And I think the people like Jamie Raskin. Okay, anyway. All the other people who are citing the Constitution, the reason why they continuously cite the Constitution is because they know the history. So I think they know, like, you know what I mean? Because if you consider the racism and like everything in the military, I think to a certain point they're just not going to give a fuck, right? And I think the people citing the Constitution are very well aware of that. Well, here, let's see. This is why I brought it up, because I had a feeling someone would say stupid shit like that. All right, so here we are. The initial motivation for the formation of the group in San Quentin in 1964 was self-protection against an existing black prison gang. The South Poverty, well, I don't know what the fuck that is, has said that although they clearly have a white supremacist ideology, the major motivation is money, and they have occasionally set aside racist views, such as aligning themselves with Latino gangs in order to make a profit. Hate groups, extremists, one of the nation's wild, supremacist, something large, deadliest gangs. Okay. Hold on. Monitor something militia committed acts, violence, and then large communities. John named something, and investigations ended. Yeah, anyways. So I know they personally had to side with a lot of the other gangs because I think it was saying something how I don't know where I read it, but I know it was a documentary on like National Geographic or something. It was like Crips and Bloods or like something like that about like prison gangs or something like that. It was like Nat Geo. I don't think it was a history. Maybe it was a history channel. I don't fucking know. But I think they said something about the Aryan Brotherhood being pretty much created because they were being outnumbered by pretty much everybody, you know, and they were either getting stabbed or hurt or just, you know, because they were outnumbered. There was way more black people and Latino gangs than there was white people, and eventually they had to pretty much be like, okay, you know what, I guess we have to work with you. So, like, I think there's a lot of people who understand history that, you know, some decisions probably might not be the best fucking idea right now. And, yeah. And if you want to fight them, then that's on you. But considering how do I say this? Considering how they have nothing to lose, I would be slightly, yeah, see, relying on the government doesn't really work when you treat them like ass. Yeah. So, let us continue on this very interesting talk he has going on.
At which point has he ever done anything right for this majority? He never has. And I think when you look at the discussion, and I understand your discussion, Mr. Perlmutter, I get it. But when you look at it from the fact that from the moment after the election, there was discussion of impeachment. From minutes after he was sworn in, the Washington Post said, now the impeachment begins. When we begin to look at this process all the way through, my only question is not when do we do this, you know, how or where do we go from here? It's just when. It's just when do we do it again? Because it's not a matter of this facts, and it was like I said earlier, not engaging in hypotheticals. We go back to the simple basic facts of happened in this case. 4 basic truths. Zelensky and President Trump said no pressure. The transcript shows no conditionality. The Ukrainians were not aware of the aid was being held when they spoke, and the Ukrainians didn't open an investigation, still received aid, and got a meeting with the president. There were 5 meetings, 3 of which took place from the call to the time the Ukrainians found out about the aid being held.
It's like this guy did not comprehend any part of the Constitution at all, and just like I don't understand like what he missed about the Constitution. Like, I don't understand like what he doesn't understand. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't I mean, if you guys really want to talk about it from like
missed it, didn't you?
Okay, listen up, people.
那手在，我们要出面去帮他们协调，去帮他处理。早期在我们万华来讲，可能你走在路上，收了在公，我还一家建设公司来讲，年纪大概组织17年出生的。我刚开始加入组织是属于竹联帮，那。
Okay, here. If you guys don't know what the Bamboo Union is, here, let me Google it for you because you guys are lazy and dumb. So, what the Bamboo Union is the largest Taiwan's 3 main criminal triads. What are triads? Triad is branches, extortion, murder, whatever, who cares? I don't really give a fuck. Alright, so.
我加入的年纪大概是在14岁左右，但是对于组织来讲，那现在呢？现在是。
The reason why I share this with you guys is because in America we are open to new opinions, right? And considering how here, let me. So, considering how we have dynasties all the way from AD and AB and all that shit, you guys are really technically only pretty much created based on 1765, right? That's really the only age. You can say, however, oh yeah, we got thousands of years of history. No, actually, you only have that much. And we have AD, BC, I don't even know the fucking difference because I don't give a shit. And so we're not really capable of making those mistakes, and neither is the Europeans. So monarchies goes back to what? BC? So, I mean, technically, you know, the reason why I get along better with Europeans is probably because we have, oh, I don't know, fucking more history than you. Anyways, so, so the reason why I bring this up is you guys can take it or you can leave it. I don't really care. But thank you for reminding me. What is it? Prison? Maingzhou, I think. Sensei Bian. No, that's not who. So, Maingzhou in Taiwan, another former president is sentenced to prison. That could deal with your problem. Just a suggestion. Oh, wait, I forgot. Taipei American School. Huh! How do you guys not know? Alright, I know it's not fucking true. Trigger!
一家建设公司的总经理，我的观念，我今天退出组织，我还是组织的人，我还是公司的人，我的精神还是在公司里面。台湾来讲呢，早期有所谓一个收保护费的一个情形啊。那你如果保护费今天收了，那我们当然我们要。
The reason why I always praise the Hells Angels or like say, oh yeah, maybe we should ask the Hells Angels instead is because I feel like if you really feel like, you know, yeah, exactly, just like the triads, then, and you're doing a better job, thank you, than the police or the FBI, then like, from me being Taiwanese and Taiwan literally being like this, like, I don't see a fucking problem. If I have a problem with it, then that means I have a problem with every single Taiwanese person and every single Chinese person, and that is not really what I'm trying to say.
要替店家要去做事情，政府机关单位也好，我们今天跟他收了保护费，那相对的我们要出面去帮他们协调，去帮他处理。早期在我们万华来讲，可能你走在路上，去。
You see how he says back in the day there were many fierce gang wars in Wanhua? The reason why I bring this up is because I feel like the cartel is going through it right now, just like how the Italian mafias have their different families and they went through it. Like, I feel like the cartel is going through that now. And we're almost there. Follow me here.
逛个街，你就会看到人家拿刀子在路上追来追去，几乎是每一天都有。 当街看到有脚在地上的，有看到手在地上的，好，这个是早期常常会有的一个情形。我的现在呢4岁左右，但是对于组织来讲，那碰到民建军哈，那我是67年出生的，我刚开始加入组织是属于竹联帮，那我加入的年纪大概是在14岁左右，但是对于组织来讲，那现在呢，现在是。
So he is currently a manager at a real estate company, and considering how, what was it? Sorry. Trump going to Los Angeles for private donors, was it? So, I mean, what's really the difference here between a real estate company and, oh, say, I don't know, Beverly Hills? I'm just not gonna look like the idiot here and be like, oh, yeah, you know, totally go disrespect them, and then some shit happens to you and be like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'll be like, oh, I don't know. Isn't it kind of obvious something happened? Alright, anyways. So, like I was saying, we don't really have to deal with that, because we have stuff like this in place, right? So, can you kind of see why you guys have this problem and we don't?
2 of those meetings were held after they found out about the aid being held. None of these, ranging from President Trump to Senators Johnson and Murphy, Vice President Pence, none of these actually discussed aid being linked to the money. None. So we start off and we get rhetorical.
If I get murdered, just know it has something to do with me pretty much saying Doug Collins does not deserve his position because he doesn't make any fucking sense. And he pretty much makes literally everybody look like a fucking idiot.
Is here at the end, which is fine. I understand it. If I had to sell this, I would have to be rhetorically enforced as well, because the Constitution is at stake here. It is the determination, is this Congress going to become a body in which we impeach because of partisan ideas, which is also what the founders discussed. You have the majority. We had the majority for a while I was here, for 6 years. It's a massive responsibility. And at times we did it well, and at times we did not do it well. And I believe that is why I'm probably...
What do you mean at times you did well? You mean the times that Jamie Raskin did everything that you took credit for? Or how you want all of your other teammates dead because they disagree with you because you cannot take no for a fucking answer?
Last November, we got an election.
I don't work with any of these people. So as a citizen who has 0 connections, who does not have a fucking college degree, this is my right as an American citizen, right? Unless you want to tell me that you take back everything and that I'm actually somehow connected because I have friends or whatever, when I'm pretty sure you specifically told me that because I don't have a college education and because I don't have a salary job, I have no power. Right? And I have no right to say anything because I don't have a salary job or a fucking education, even though most of those people have fucking college educations and they know the Constitution better than this guy.
Majority and gave you the gavel. But remember, just because you can, don't mean you should. And sometimes when the facts, especially when you have to go at them from a perspective of the way this process has went, as I said earlier today, I'll fight process and I'll fight facts, and I'll win on both. Because when I take this case from here at this table in just a few minutes when we leave, then I'll take it to the floor tomorrow, and then I'll take it to the American people, just as this president will, and just as those who fought. And when we understand...
You mean you're freeloading off of all the work that everybody fucking else did, and you're just taking credit for? Is that what he's actually saying he's going to do? How the fuck? It's already fucking delivered. They already fucking see it. What the fuck are you gonna bring to the people that they cannot get and see themselves? Thank you. I'm pretty sure anybody can fucking go on C-SPAN on YouTube for fucking free and go see it. You don't need to fucking deliver it to anybody just so you can take credit for it, right?
Understand what actually happened, when what is actually charged, not what was assumed and not what was put deep into a report, but what was actually ended up, then I simply see nothing that helps us down the line. But I do see two things that bother me, and this will finish my statement to you. I see a process that has been trashed in the rules and processes of the committee and of the whole. And I see a process of impeachment that has been lowered to where you don't even have to jump anymore.
See why I said Animal Farm was a funny book?
And that is my concern. I know Mr. Raskin doesn't share it, but that you ask, that is my concern. Where do we go from here? In some ways, looking at this, God help us. I yield back.
Let the record know that was more than 30 seconds. Let me just finish with, from my perspective, the specificity. And Mr. Cole and I were talking about people reading the summary of the phone call and different people reading it and having different.
If you know, no offense, but if any of these people were in positions of power, I don't think you will really end up with a Doug Collins kind of person, because first of all, if you're going to talk like a crackhead and another person who has more power and more money than you, right? Because considering what he's doing and saying to other people, then, I mean, it isn't really going to be that bad, right? So maybe you guys should probably fix that problem, and it could probably solve your other problems, you know? It just could. Well, that's kind of what I brought up, and that's why, thank you. That's why I kept making the joke that, you know, if I work, I'm so glad that I work a minimum wage job because I won't ever have to deal with a person like Doug Collins. Does that kind of make sense? Because I'm just a person with a minimum wage job, I can literally just sit here and be like, well, shit, you're doing a fucking horrible job. And as a person, as a citizen who has the right to vote in a democratic country, right? You're doing a shitty job. I don't know why the fuck you're here. I don't know why the fuck you're fucking there trying to fucking implement any type of fucking laws, okay? I don't know why the fuck you're there. And as a person, as a citizen who gets to watch this, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. No offense, but I don't really feel safe with you having so much fucking power over me when nothing you say makes any goddamn sense. Like, if I wanted to hear a crackhead talk shit, I could have just went to San Francisco and went to like a homeless camp just to see all the fucking crackheads talk shit to me. Okay? Because no offense, as a person who works minimum wage, I think I know a crackhead when I fucking hear one, right? Considering how I'm so low and I don't know anything. I don't have any education. Oh, I don't have any college degrees. I don't have any fucking salary jobs. I think because of my credibility as a useless motherfucker, right? I would see and understand when I see a fucking crackhead, right? Clearly, nobody else on that fucking committee or whatever is a fucking crackhead because they're actually talking laws. But no, Doug Collins literally sounds like a crackhead. Like, if I wanted to hear some crackhead rant about some random fucking shit about the red tape and the fucking TV show, I can literally go to San Francisco and talk to anybody smoking meth. Hey, do you want to know what red tape is? And I guarantee you they're going to sound exactly like him. I don't know any person working a minimum wage job that will be like, oh yeah, I've never heard a crackhead talk. I think the only thing that they've never heard of is people talking like Obama. Right? So, now that we got that across, can you see how my association with Foxconn is just gonna go to shit, considering how there's, oh, Foxconn suicides, oh, there's Foxconn sweatshops. Like, can you see how everything that I'm going through really has nothing to do with me? I think we've actually all figured out what the real problem is, and considering those lawsuits that make no goddamn fucking sense, no offense, but let's just revisit these lawsuits and what they're saying and how much it sounds like Doug Collins, pretty much. Well, I mean, if you're gonna be the person creating problems like Eric Garner, right? and what was it? Hands up, don't shoot. What was that? Yeah, the shooting of Michael Brown, considering, no offense, but does anybody else think Doug Collins sounds like the kind of person who would be like, yeah, I'm rich and I control the police, so we're gonna tell people to kill you? Am I the only other person who sees this shit? Because no offense, but I've gotten what was that Allstate fucking claim that was not my fault? How apparently it's my fault now because I drive a BMW and I'm fucking Asian, right? Apparently that's just my fault too now because of white people like Doug Collins, right? And apparently I don't have my gun high school diploma because of white people like Doug Collins. And I'm about to get fired from my job at a pet daycare because of people like Doug Collins. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be like a fucking Abraham Lincoln. I am not trying to free slaves. I am not trying to be some Cesar Chavez. I'm not trying to give anybody fucking rights. But you need to stop fucking with me. Does that kind of make sense? I got a job to live my motherfucking life. And you wanted to come bring fucking problems to me. I didn't come fucking find problems to you. I don't even know who the fuck you are. Right? And I think this whole entire thing just shows who the real fucking problem is. Unless you want to tell us that we're all fucking blind and we all deserve to get shot by the fucking military that you fucking control. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I don't think that Allstate claim was really my motherfucking fault either. And I think a lot of fucking people can also agree that I did a really fucking good job until my fucking owner was racist to me. There's so much shit that I can fucking say right now. And for you to be like, oh yeah, the rich people want you dead. Oh, I don't think they want me dead because I understand the Constitution better than you fucking understand the Constitution, right? You're the only person who sounds like Doug Collins being like, oh yeah, the Constitution doesn't fucking exist to me. It's the fucking red tape. What the fuck does the red tape have to do with the Constitution? So, if I ever end up dead, just know it's because I support the Constitution and I refuse to listen to that red tape bullshit. And who, I don't know, because everybody fucking was like, wait, what the fuck does this have to do with anything, right? What the fuck does this have to do with fucking anything? And then what was that? ICE agent, something, arrest man driving pregnant wife. Yeah. Remember this shit and remember all the fucking ICE shit, right? There's a difference between cartel on cartel violence versus ICE agents doing it, right? And now that we have gone here, let's go to the Foxconn thing. Thank you. I'm trying to find the newest. So, after we've been through all the hands up, the ICE agents, pregnant wife, now we come to the educated, wealthy Asians aspect, right? Foxconn is what, $1 billion company, and they are wealthy, they are educated, right? Apple and Qualcomm's global fight heads to court in San Diego. Why? Because they want to sue Foxconn, and they want to sue a bunch of people outside of their pretty much thing. So, considering how politics has a lot to do with donors, and donors are pretty much rich people, right? I would think Apple and all these people are considered rich people, and that's why, what is it called? Trump supporting, no. Apple, no. Tim Cook donation to Obama or some shit like that. Cook donated to Barack Obama's first White House election. Okay, so we keep track of that shit because guess what? It's our freedom. Unless you want to try and take that fucking freedom away from those people, then you're just creating a list of enemies here. Not to add on to the people that you already talk shit about and wanted, them to make sure that they never get anything. That could be why the Aryan Brotherhood was like, hey, this shit makes sense. So, okay, so the Charles Manson thing here. Record deal. So, remember, when Charles Manson, oh shit. Charles Manson ties to the music, the Beach Boys. Okay. From Beatles to Beach Boys, 9 Inch Nails, Charles Manson's ties to the whatever. So, trace his motive. So, pretty much, Charles Manson was pretty much promised a music contract that never fucking went through. So, ever since I remember that from why Charles Manson wanted to do pretty much everything that he wanted to do, I was like, why even create Helter Skelter? Considering, And the reason why I say this is because I think Charles Manson supporters would actually hate me just because I have connections to Foxconn. So I'm just trying to be smart here. I'm not trying to get murdered in my own fucking home. Sorry, I'm not trying to die right now. And especially not in my own home. So, yeah, I'm a little fucking paranoid. So, yeah. On to the thing. Let's go back to this. Because let's put this right here for all you visual people. Like me. Let's put that over here with the triads. Because that is just terrifying. So, let us go back to what this has to do with racism and me. So this whole situation started with this. When Qualcomm and Microsoft tried to sue Foxconn. Let's go one by one on why I support these people. So Foxconn and Microsoft here, thank you. So Foxconn and Microsoft, right? In terms of Charles Manson, I can kind of agree with Charles Manson because guess what? They fucked us too. The triad. Okay, we gotta go to cartel. The cartel was pretty much created because of the systematic oppression, right? So, shit. Pretty clear on why I would agree with them, right? And then now we go to the Eric Garner and the hands up. When we all know damn well what's going on here, and, well, shit, I can fucking relate to. So, I'm not really trying to save the slaves like Harriet Tubman, and I'm not trying to be like a Cesar Chavez and be like, yeah, we need rights. Why don't you just not fuck with us? Like, just leave us alone. Like, that could be a great resolution, just leave me alone. I'm not like, oh, human rights. Oh, I'm not like, oh, I don't really give a shit. Just leave me alone. That could work, right? But like I said, if you keep trying to bring me problems, I will bring the same problem back to you. Oh, wait. That's what Charles Manson did. Oh, shit. What was this? Oh, that's what the cartel did. Oh, that's what Black Lives Matter was created. Oh, I don't know. Look at the fucking ICE agents. Oh, I don't know. You created this problem because you keep messing with us, right? You won't leave us alone because apparently you cannot be happy with us being happy, right? So yeah, I'm going to work with people who share the same fucking problem. You won't leave us alone. Leave me alone. That's it. That's literally it. Leave me alone. Stop trying to sue us. Stop trying to arrest us. Stop trying to fuck with our lives. Leave us alone. That could really solve all your fucking problems, right? Just leave me alone. Well, you see, when it comes to the triads and Black Lives Matter, I don't think they fucking need you, okay? You literally have never helped them. Get it in your head that you never help them. Oh, black person needs help. Sorry, police don't help that. Okay, so what are you threatening them with? Oh, Asian people, sorry, ching chong, me no speak English. Okay, that's fine. We don't need your help. We're not used to having you help us, so we don't fucking need you either. Can you see how we don't fucking need you? So why don't you just leave us the fuck alone? Stop trying to sue us. Stop trying to arrest these people when clearly, look at fucking Doug Collins, literally another Rob Ford, just fucking anyways. So, you know, maybe just leave us alone. And in terms of the Charles Manson thing, maybe don't try to promise people shit and think like, oh, they're whatever. Yeah, try not to do that because, you know, the reason why I don't be like, oh, Charles Manson is dead. I'm not scared. Oh, I am fucking scared. I believe that he can still have followers that will be more than happy to fucking kill me. If I disrespect Charles Manson, I guarantee you his followers will track me down and kill me. And that's why I keep saying I have no disrespect to him. Because I know for a fact, if his followers really wanted to fucking kill me like they killed... who did she kill? Sharon Tate. I'm pretty sure they would have the power to, right? How come I'm not afraid? Because he's supposedly clean. Doug Collins is supposedly like this fucking beautiful, massive person who's perfect, right? Because he has a college degree and because he's white and he has an education and he has a government job. So technically he's like the perfect white person. So what is there to be afraid of? I am not disrespecting you. If anything, I am more afraid of you. Because I do not have any of those things, right? I'm sorry, but this is turning into like a crackhead conversation because it's kind of like, you see how like everybody kind of has like a point to make, and every single person in the house has like a Constitution article, thank you, that they wanted to discuss. And then we have Doug Collins talking about red tape. Like, what the fuck? Like, if we wanted to talk to some crackheads, I'm pretty sure everybody can just go find a homeless person and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, I don't think we really need this person in the fucking House of Representatives being like, oh yeah, crackhead here.
Realities when they read it. But as all of us can relate to, a candidate for federal office, the law says, cannot, quote, knowingly solicit, accept, or receive from a foreign national any contribution or donation. And that contribution or donation is defined as anything of value. When I read that summary...
You see how every single one of these representatives, when they talk, they say the article and then they say the evidence. They say the law and then they go, hey, you know, Trump did this. An article, constitution, whatever, section, whatever, this is what it is. And then there's Trump did this, which clearly violates the law. And then we have Doug Collins talking about his goddamn red tape again.
He's clearly asking for something of value, so an investigation.
And apparently people still want to assassinate me because I disagree with Doug Collins. So can you guys kind of see how this is not a rich people oppressing you kind of problem now? Like, this has nothing to do with rich people. Like, we are not that, I mean, rich people are not that fucking stupid. There's a reason why they go, this is the Constitution and this is what he did. There's a reason why we don't, there's a reason why rich people don't go, hey, you know, you're a fucking crackhead. We don't listen to goddamn crackheads, you know, because we don't fucking deal with that crackhead shit. There's a reason why they don't talk like this. I mean, if Doug Collins does come out to be a crackhead, everybody's probably going to rejoice and be like, thank God. You know, we all thought he was a crackhead.
That would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I mean, I can show you guys some videos on, like, what is it? World Star Hip Oh my god. There is a lot.
You got that shit?
What's up,
You
Don?
got that shit, bro? I got $3. I got.
And just so you guys know, in neighborhoods like this, there isn't like, oh yeah, let me call the cops for them to come and help me. We totally need the law to help us. Yeah, I don't think you can really threaten these people with, oh yeah, you know, the FBI is not gonna help you. There's literally a fucking guy climbing into his fucking window. Like, as a normal person who lives in a normal society, well, in a pretty fucking safe bubbled shelter, okay? Nobody would literally walk up into my fucking house and be like, hey, you got the shit? You got the fucking shit? What the fuck? Who does that? No offense or anything, but if I call the cops, they would come and help me. But, like, who the fuck are they gonna call? No offense or anything. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying, like, I understand why you guys don't believe in the government, because it's like, is the cops even gonna help you? Or are they gonna arrest you and think that you're the drug dealer? Because this guy just straight up looks fucking insane. Like, I would not believe a single thing this fucking guy says. But that's just me, my common sense. But I can see how racism in a police force would be like, oh no, you're definitely the fucking, you know, and in a situation like that, it kind of makes sense. You know, why you would be like, you know, we really don't need you. I didn't do anything to you, but I can completely understand your anger. Because, I mean, shit, what the fuck? No offense or anything, but that's just not okay. Why the fuck are you at his window? Like, what? How is, like, just, for me, growing up with the safety that I have had, I just don't think this is okay. And, like, because you're constantly put through that, I can completely understand your anger. And there's nothing that I can possibly do, because every time I try to do something, people like Doug Collins tries to kill me. So, and that's why I keep trying to relate it back to the Foxconn situation, because the only reason, let's just do it on a very, like, shallow level, so then it's kind of like a trade for a trade kind of thing, so people don't fucking be like, oh yeah, they grew up together, they're friends. Okay, let's just not. But, let's just do it very simply from, like, a Foxconn situation, okay? I am agreeing with these people because I can see how, because of how you treat these people, is why you feel like you're entitled to and you're gonna get away with treating Foxconn this way. And the reason why I keep bringing up Foxconn is because Foxconn is fucking rich, and they're already doing this to Foxconn. Do you have $1 billion? Do you have that kind of fucking money? No, right? So I guarantee you they're gonna fuck you next. And there's not gonna be a goddamn thing you can fucking do about it. If Foxconn is a billionaire and nothing is done to protect him, imagine how hard they're gonna fuck you. Anyways, like I said, they've already fucked them this hard, so I'm kind of like, oh shit. They've done it for so long that they think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get away with it. So yeah, naturally, I'm gonna side with you because I feel like only you guys have the power and the knowledge to prevent this from fucking happening. Like, as an Asian, can you see why I would want to have Foxconn succeed? Because if Foxconn cannot even succeed, like, how the fuck is that gonna be hope for any of us in America? Because we have, oh yeah, here. New York writer racism go back to China or something like that. He says something in open letter. Oh yeah, here. So, an open letter to the woman who told my family to go back to China. And not long after, they did this to Foxconn. Alright, so can you kind of see how, like, it's not just like, oh yeah, you know, normal people and all that shit. Like, no, it's very much alive. So, I mean, in terms of keeping myself safe, I think I am forced to do this. Not because, oh yeah, I want to do this. Oh yeah, I just have a grudge against you. Like, no, you're forcing me to do it. It's not like, oh yeah, I wanted to do it. No, you're forcing me to do it. Right? Thank you.
Look at that. Oh, fuck. Oh, I gotta go back for my $3. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened, dude. This chick, right? There was this dude, and then there was this chick, and then there was this pipe, and then it broke, and then we ran, and there was like CVS, and there was security everywhere, and I hit this guy, and he hit me, and I hit him, and he called the cops, and they came, and they let me go.
None. So we start off and we get rhetorical flourishes here at the end, which is fine. I understand it. If I had
As a normal person who is just watching the news and watching public fucking information, tell me the difference.
to sell this, I would have to be rhetorically and flourish as well, because the Constitution is at stake here. It is the determination, is this Congress going to become
Oh, I'm not trying to lead any kind of thing. Like, do not see me as your leader, because I am not going to take responsibility for anything you fucking do. Like, you have to understand, when you're a leader in something, when you're a leader in anything, you take responsibility for what your followers do. I'm not going to take responsibility for shit. Okay, if you decide to do anything, that ain't my goddamn problem. That ain't on me. Okay? I am not your leader. Do not call me your leader. Do not praise me as your leader. I do not give a fuck. I do not know you. I do not support it. Even if you do something in support of me, I am not going to support you, because guess what? I do not want that responsibility. There's a reason why I never wanted a manager position. There's a reason why I never wanted to be in a position of power, because guess what? I don't want to take responsibility. I just don't. So, that said, I am just a random citizen exercising my freedom of speech and exercising my freedom of no censorship, or whatever the fuck you guys have been saying about, oh yeah, fuck China and their censorship, and fucking Google and the fucking, what was that thing? Let's get the correct term of what the fuck you said about China. I'm not trying to be a Chinese spy or anything like that. I just think this is how, like, you breed racism into, like, ching chong, go back to China. I think that's where this comes from. So what was it? Dragonfly, China, Google engine, employee, something. Google is still working on China. Okay, Google. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Here we go. So Google employees aren't convinced that Dragonfly is dead. Okay. So since you guys wanted to say all this, and then there was what? Dragonfly, Google employee protest or some shit like that, right? Go public to protest. There we go. Thank you. So Google employees go public to protest China's search engine, and yet you're trying to silence me when all I'm doing is reacting to a political C-SPAN situation and reading the news that are controlled by the rich people that you so supposedly support. Supposedly support. Did I say support? Fuck. Anyways, thank you. So, I mean, it's really your move at this point, considering, you know, how you guys want to say, oh yeah, Google, we want to protest China's search, but then you do not want me. So can you see how that pretty much just defines it as racism? Or are you not connecting that? Do you fucking see what I'm talking about yet? Because if you told me, oh yeah, you know, I don't like how Foxconn does fucking suicides, I don't like Foxconn being like fucked up to their workers, that's completely different. But for you to be like, oh yeah, Google's fucking China protest, you know, no freedom of rights, no fucking freedom, no freedom of speech, and then you're over here trying to kill me because I disagree with Doug Collins and I'm calling him a fucking crackhead, because I am saying that as a citizen, you're gonna say, oh yeah, I'm slandering him, defaming him, when I have nothing to do with politics. Like, this is another reason, okay? If I worked at the White House and I called Doug Collins a fucking crackhead, I would be sued for defamation and slander and all sorts of other damages and brand and all that shit. But considering I have no connections to any of this, I have no college degree, I have no salary job, I can fucking say this as a fucking citizen, right? Unless you want to somehow tell me, like, you're against China But you also want to prevent me for having my freedom of speech, right? Because, I mean, that would just be pure racism, wouldn't it? Or I mean, what was your point exactly? Please clarify it, because I mean, I think it doesn't really take a fucking genius, right, to be like, well, if Christine is not allowed to have her freedom of speech, and Google employees don't like China, like, where did it all go?
A body
No!
in which we impeach because of part of.
No, what is it? I know one of these. Oh, well, I know one of these has very, very bad. Actually, I think you guys can have a lot of fun with this. I think you guys can have a lot of fun with this, because I don't know who you guys want to take. I mean, I don't know who you guys want to fully blame for it, so
Listen,
I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know anything
ideas.
about it.
Which is also what the founders discussed. You have the majority.
So it's gonna be completely up to you guys. I think I have to reinstall this. Hold on. My face is frozen. And I don't know how to fucking use this. It's a good thing I never fucking paid for this, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. Now I got two faces. Let's fix this. There we go. All right, so considering how this is actually a, what is it? How do I make this thing smaller? Oh my gosh, it's such a good thing I never paid for this, because I would be hella pissed right now. How much does this thing cost again? Let's see. I don't even know how to fucking buy this. What is this? Let's add to the list while we're here, why don't we? What is it? What am I using? XSplit. So, thank you. What is the software that we're using? How much does it cost again? While we're here, right? So let's see. Upgrade. There's actually a lot of things that I cannot do, like resolution. Hold on. Whoa, 190. You guys are fucking insane. See, 10% off on subscriptions. So we have free, which is number of scenes, and then watermark. See, Skype video cameras can't do that. Audio source can't do that. So all of these things, Express Video Editor, priority support, commercial use. What does that even mean? What if I just upload it to YouTube? Like, isn't that technically commercial use? I think you guys gotta fix that. All right. Besides the point of a slight problem that I think I found in your thing. So 3 months prescription. What is this? Lifetime premium license. I would honestly just buy that. But it's a good thing I never did, because I mean, did you see just what fucking happened? This shit is fucking. I mean, obviously, I'm going to blame XSplit, considering I just had to figure out and fix the camera right now, and that's why my face was frozen. So yeah, I would most likely blame XSplit, considering I bought fucking Game Show!
Majority.
Chrome is shit. Oh, that's why, because Chrome is Google. Good point, guys. So yeah, for all I fucking know, it could have been just Google trying to fucking stop me from talking about my freedom of speech and my own personal opinions on why I think he's a fucking shit leader. You know, so, I mean, no offense, but if they're gonna make fucking, what is it? What's it called? China memes? Pooh Bear or something like that? If, no offense, if I'm not going to be allowed to talk about Google and their fucking employees saying that China and all that shit is actually racism, then I mean, no offense, but how are you about to say you're better than this Pooh Bear shit? I mean, if that's really what you want the country to be, that can be on you. And, you know, if some people are against it, you know, you can go ahead and deal with that because I don't want to deal with that. There's a reason why China doesn't do certain things that they've already did like 5,000 years ago, and guess what? They're no longer alive, so there's probably a reason why we don't do it anymore. But am I almost done? Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys crackhead videos.
We had the majority for a while I was here, for 6 years. It's a massive responsibility. And at times we did it well, and at times we did not do it well.
You got that shit?
What's up, Don?
You got that shit, bro? I got $3. I got. What is that? Oh, I gotta go back for my $3. Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened, dude. This chick, right? There was this dude, and then there was this chick, and then there was this pipe, and then it broke, and then we ran, and there was like CVS, and there was security everywhere, and I hit this guy, and they hit me, and I hit him, and he called the cops, and they came, and they let me go. You got that shit? You got that shit? I need that shit.
Well,
They
you
set
only
me
got
up here.
$3?
You set me up here.
$3.
Is this the wrong house?
That's
Is this the wrong house?
$3?
Is this the wrong house?
What you got? You got anything
Hey.
for $3?
$3. You got the crack here, right? Oh, no crack? Oh, fuck, you guys don't have crack? Oh, fuck you guys. What's the crack?
Well, fuck you then.
Next time we come back, you better have some crack.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
And I believe that is why probably last November we got an election that gave you the majority and gave you the gavel. But remember, just because you can, don't mean you should. And sometimes when the facts, especially when you have to go at them from a perspective of the way this process has went, as I said earlier today, I'll fight process and I'll fight facts and I'll win
Well,
on
fuck
both.
you then.
Because when I take this case from here at
come
this
back
table
to-
in just a few minutes when we leave, then I'll take it to the floor tomorrow, and then I'll take it to the American people, just as this president will, and just as those who fought. And when we understand what actually happened, when what is actually charged, not what was assumed and not what's put.
Better have some crack.
You don't see what is related? Okay.
Articulately. I agree with you. The nature of the Rules Committee, our standard practice of waiving all points of order, the requirement that the majority
Aid was given. The voting.
This matter.
harm, no foul.
Of
Office of Management and Budget and so on.
my recollection during the judiciary proceedings is that you put this question in a different form that I'm about.
Spirit or in any way, shape, or
No,
or form.
not at
Okay,
all. No,
just
not at
wanted-
all.
Thank you. I thank my friend Paul.
He's either a liar, a pathological liar according to the majority, or he is so weak he shouldn't be governing that country. That's tragic. We actually did that to this sitting leader, world leader in our committee. These are the kind of things that bother many of us. But also I know.
I think this is especially the case given how close we are to the next election. In 11 months, the American people are going to vote on the next president of the United States. Why then are we plunging the country into this kind of turmoil and this kind of trauma now, when the voters themselves will resolve the matter one way or another less than a year from today?
All it does achieve is make the political polarization and divisions in our country even worse. That makes no sense to me. Though we may be moving forward with a vote, I certainly
Contribution or donation. And that contribution or donation is defined as anything of value.
Who did you understand was responsible for her removal? I understood this to result of the campaign that Mr. Giuliani had set in motion in conjunction with people who were writing articles and, publications that I could have expected better of. She's then asked.
Not asking questions and to not being. Alex, we're not aware the aid was withheld even when the president spoke, and Ukrainians did not open investigations, didn't get a meeting, and still got their aid. But what did we see last week and over the past 2 weeks? We saw.
This is not a trivial matter that we're taking up. This is a matter of great importance for the future of our country. And we've all talked about our allegiance to the Constitution. We should provide members an opportunity to explain themselves. And I would just say that I think Mr. Cole's
rule. To suggest that the rule has been satisfied as the chairman
stayed here a little bit late last night.
Where the fuck is the Colorado guy? Is he all the way back here? No fucking way. What the fuck was I watching? Oh my god, it is back here.
In my view, in the actions of the president, exactly why impeachment exists at all. And the last time this committee gathered on the subject of the inquiry, I spoke of my hopes that the public phase of this process would bring answers for the American people.
Thing that
Are we willing to fight for this democracy? I expect we'll have a lot of debate here.
No, it's not.
What does it take to be a Shen Yun dancer? It takes a mind of
Left the Constitutional Convention and said, the founders have created a republic if you can keep it. There are no guarantees. Our system of government will persist only if we fight for it. And the simple question for us is this.
Process. I received a call from my staff saying, impeachment, you're thinking about impeaching a president in particular for crimes. You're thinking about it, you're sitting it down. It was.
My state had 2 counties. Mentioned lethal weapons were provided to Ukraine. And it wasn't until 2019, during the lead up to the 2020 presidential.
Clause 2G6.
Alexander Hamilton called partisan impeachment, regulated by more of the comparative strength of parties than the real demonstration of innocence or guilt, the greatest danger. And additionally, the founders explicitly excluded the term maladministration from the impeachment clause because they did not want to subject president to the whims of Congress. Their words. James Madison said, so vague a term will be the equivalent to a tenure during the pleasure of the Senate. And I would say it would be a tenure to the pleasure of this House. When we understand what's going on here, when we look at the discussions here, there are many things I want to talk about, but the first I want to do is when we talk about how we get to a certain place, proper process leads to proper results, and we've not had any of that in this process. I've always said, and I've said it many times in our discussions lately, is that this is all about a clock and a calendar. It has been for a while. Since January when we were sworn in, it's about a clock and a calendar. Why do I say that? Because we had to get to it by the end of the year, because we went into the next year, it would be really too close, especially from the House's perspective, to the elections that they're trying to interfere with. And yes, they're trying to interfere with elections, the 2020 election, by actually beginning this process and then going forward. Now, the conduct is not conducted in the respect of the American people. The clock and the calendar, no masters, except themselves. You see, our committee held its first hearing on December 4th, literally the day after Schiff publicly released his report. In the first minutes of the hearing, Mr. Sensenbrenner furnished the chairman with our demand for a minority day of hearings. The chairman also set a deadline of December 6th for Republicans and the president to request additional witnesses. But it wasn't until Saturday, the day after the deadline, that Chairman Schiff transmitted 8,000 pages of material to the Judiciary Committee. And we still haven't gotten everything, not that it matters to the majority. For institutionalists, this should bother you. You can still go ahead and vote for your yes tomorrow and vote for yes today and do that, but it should matter for this institution that while I was in Georgia, I received a call from my staff saying they've just released 8,000 documents, thumb drives, some of which are going to be kept in a secure holding. And when I asked the chairman about these documents, where they're going to use, he said, well, we're not going to read them either. We're not going to have a chance to go through them. We're just going to go ahead with what we're doing. That was from my chairman, who I respect greatly. We've done a lot of things together, but it has been very difficult. When in a hearing of this magnitude, how can anyone, Republican or Democrat, actually go back and look at their constituents in the face and say, we looked at all.
You see how people actually listen to him when he uses evidence? And everybody else just doesn't listen to him when he doesn't have evidence?
The evidence. I looked at everything and I came to this conclusion. No, we cherry-picked the evidence and we only use what we want to do because that material, which by the way is still not all been released, there's the Inspector General IG report that's still transmitted, it's not been released. Now, whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. But when you're talking about impeaching a president, shouldn't the underlying evidence sent to the Judiciary Committee actually matter? Again, it doesn't take constitutional experts coming in and telling us about it. It takes common sense to know that you don't impeach somebody without at least making all the evidence proper. But you know that's what happens when you're to the tyranny of a clock and a calendar.
When you're the tyranny of a clock and a calendar, nothing else matters. It's like what's going to happen here in the holidays is you're getting close to that day and you're supposed to give that gift. Nothing else matters. You just got to go get it. And it's the last minute. If you don't have anything, let's say I bet you've done this. You go out and you just buy the first thing you get. And this is what was happening. The clock was running out, so they found a phone call they didn't like. They didn't like this administration. They didn't like what the president did. They tried to make up claims that there was pressure and all these other things that they so outlined in the report. But at the end of the day, it's simply last minute Christmas shopping. They ran and found something and said, we can do it. But no crimes. None in the articles. Abuse of power, in which any member can make up anything they want to and call it an abuse of power. But in the report, they document bribery and extortion and all these other things, which they can't put into the articles. And then the obstruction of justice. Again, it's sort of interesting. When I just read, Chairman Schiff transferred on a Saturday 8,000 pages of what we're supposed to be working at.
In session, we'll show you more from today's meeting.
Elaborate on the Mueller report. And in that, with Kim Jong-un. And Kim Jong-un is preparing missiles.
For the impeachment trial of Donald John Trump, President of the United States, if offered amendment, I think the American public would think it's really ridiculous to grant a minority hearing date after we vote on articles of impeachment. I mean, any person with any common sense knows that that is really, in my opinion, outrageous. And so, if you go forward with this, as I assume you are, I think we're going to make hay out of it for sure.
You can make hay out of whatever you want. As I said before, the whole point of this resolution was to ensure that the minority had a right to a witness during committee procedures. That has been granted in the Judiciary Committee. And it's just to protect against chairmen or chairwomen who basically allow no minority witness.
I do speak pretty advanced to the point where a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying. So, I mean, I feel like I need, and it's very important, and it's a very good skill to have to be able to speak any language possible, not just like, oh yeah, I learned Japanese. Like, no. There's other languages you need to learn.
Witnesses. So I am perfectly comfortable with my response. But I will also say that we received a letter from 70 members of the party, including 2 members of the Rules Committee, saying that they're going to use every dilatory tactic within their means to try to delay and derail this process. I do not want this to turn into a circus. This is a serious matter, and it will be considered in an orderly and respectful way. And I think that's, so we will just disagree on this. Yeah, Mr. Woodall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I just be heard on one further point, I may have not explained my motion articulately. I agree with you. The nature of the Rules Committee, our standard practice of waiving all points of order, the requirement that the majority be able to conduct its business without dilatory tactics. My motion is that we keep that section that waives all points of order, with the one exception of this minority witness. If I may read from the House Practice Manual. Whenever hearing is called by a committee on a measure or matter, minority members on the committee may have a right to call witnesses of their own choosing. That has not happened here. That has not happened here. That, as has been said so often today, those facts are undisputed. Undisputed. I'll be happy with my friend.
Mike.
5 witnesses that have testified, 2 in the Judiciary Committee and 3 called by the Republican minority. So that's at least 5 witnesses. And the president was invited to present a case, which he refused to do. I appreciate my friend raising that. What you heard from the ranking member today is he was given choices by the chairman. Take it or leave it. You can invite a law professor of your own choosing, but you cannot invite a witness of your own choosing. You cannot bring the fact witnesses, any fact witness, to this hearing. That's what this section, and to the chairman's point.
So if the gentleman would yield again, so the gentleman's making a distinction between the examinations and depositions that were taken in the Intelligence Committee versus what was done in the Judiciary Committee. Is that how the gentleman is proceeding?
No, I would say the gentleman, I'm only taking the rule on its face. Minority members on the committee have the right to call witnesses of their own choosing. That right was not offered or granted. And it goes on to say the chair may set the day under a reasonable schedule. It could well be that the chairman is absolutely right. And when we decided that the schedule must be reasonable, we decided that scheduling the hearing after the bill has already been passed and sent to the Senate was reasonable. But I don't believe that we believe that. I believe every one of us knows that is not what we intended. There are bills on which moving and playing fast and loose may be appropriate. Impeaching the President of the United States cannot, by any definition, be one of those resolutions. Cannot be. Cannot be. The rule is clear. The Rules Committee has the right to waive the rule. To suggest that the rule has been satisfied, as the chairman's letter does, I think creates a very...
I mean, you guys can say and do all you fucking want, but considering what I found out just because of how much I love my dog, I think everything that you guys do and say sounds kind of stupid.
dangerous precedent that future chairmen are going to be much more liberal with and much less enthusiastic about protecting minority rights than the chairman would be. The chair may set the day under a reasonable schedule.
Let me say it this way, and I don't mean it in a fucked up way. You went to school to learn something that we already naturally know about. We all know what you know after you spent... Okay, so let's speak it in a way that you understand, okay? We know how to program computers without going to school. You, on the other hand, had to spend 4 years. And you still don't really know more than we do. And I work a minimum wage job, so you can just shove that shit right up your ass if you have anything to say about that.
Is the day after we passed the bill reasonable? And that's best case scenario as we sit here today. The chairman's been very indulgent.
No, and I would just simply say, I think you are misinterpreting what the rule actually states. And we do not agree, and what we're doing here is standard operating procedure, and we are going to follow that.
To be fair, Mr. Chairman, I'm not trying to mistake the rule. I'm reading it out of the House
Right,
practice.
I answered you in a lengthy letter, based on precedent and based on how it's interpreted. I mean, the idea that somehow, if it worked the way the minority would have us believe, as if it were some superpower, allowing the minority to call any witness at any time, to schedule a hearing whenever they want to delay legislation. I promise you, there would have been a whole lot more hearings last Congress called by Democrats. And so we just disagree. Of course. And so we can continue this if you'd like, but I don't agree with your assumption.
And I know that in this committee, as the chairman, when you don't agree with me, that means I'm going to lose. I understand.
You can ask for a vote.
But this is not, but Mr. Chairman, this isn't a rule of this committee. This is a rule of the United States House.
Absolutely. And as far as I'm concerned, is the parliamentarian informed you that there's a point of order being made?
If the circumstances are as you believe
I'm
they
just
are,
asking you.
when I raise that point of order on the floor of the House, or members of the Judiciary Committee does,
Right.
it will be denied.
Right, but I'm not exposing this bill to any points of order. And I would urge my colleagues to vote no on the Woodall Amendment. All those.
Considering what you just said, can you see why I purposely work an hourly wage job? So motherfuckers like you trying to sell trade secrets and violate employment contracts will have no other way but to get fired? Do you comprehend that yet? And the whole, oh yeah, rich people are so mean. I don't remember doing anything mean to anyone. Except probably that guy and Doug Collins. Ain't got shit to do with me though, because you see us all, you see them constantly fighting him. So you tell me who the real problem here is.
In favor of the Woodall Amendment, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. No. Be the chair, the no.
And that's kind of what I was talking about the whole C-SPAN thing, because it's kind of like, well, you cannot really change our minds with a simple Google search or a simple media article when we are watching it.
Those have it? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Hastings.
I'm not reluctant to vote no.
Mr. Hastings, no. Mrs. Torres. Reluctant to vote no. Mrs. Torres, no. Mr. Perlmutter. Mr. Perlmutter, no. Mr. Raskin. Mr. Raskin, no. Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon, no. Mr. Morelli. Mr. Morelli, no. Ms. Shalala. Ms. Shalala, no. Mr. DeSaulnier. Mr. DeSaulnier, no. Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole, aye. Mr. Woodall. Mr. Woodall, aye. Mr. Burgess. Mr. Burgess, aye. Mrs. Lesko. Mrs. Lesko, aye. Mr. Chairman.
No.
Mr. Chairman, no.
Clerk report the total.
4 yeas, 9 nays.
Members not agree to any further amendments? Before we vote on the final motion, I'd like to yield to the gentleman from Oklahoma for any concluding remarks you'd like to make.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to agree with my friend, Mr. DeSaulnier. This is a sad day. I don't think anybody in this panel, Democrat or Republican, came here with the expectation they'd be voting on impeachment for the president, and I think they all regret that. I think we all regret that. But I want to tell you first, Mr. Chairman, I'm very proud of this committee. I'm very proud that the discussion has been civil and professional. I think the points have been fair by all sides, and I think that's the credit of this committee. Mr. Chairman, I'm very proud of you. I think you've presided over this process, which is a difficult one. It's one where we clearly disagree. There was not much opportunity for agreement to arrive, but you've given everybody an opportunity to have their say. You've allowed every question to be asked, every point to be made. You've made your decisions. That's your prerogative as the chairman, and we respect that prerogative. But I think you've done so in a very fair and open and transparent manner. I'm personally very, very grateful. I do think, as a Congress, we're on an awfully dangerous and awfully divisive course. And I've thought about this quite a bit. I know all of us have. And I've been around this business for a long time. And I watched the last impeachment process. I was not a member of Congress, but I was pretty closely associated with Congress at the time. And I thought probably where we went wrong in that process is that I don't think most other Republican members in the 90s ever really regarded President Clinton as a legitimately elected president. I would caution my friends, I think you're making precisely the same mistake now. There's no question, we can quibble about votes, but many members of Congress on your side have been trying to impeach the president from the very first day. No question about that. There was testimony about that. And we're going to impeach a president, in this case, if we go ahead and have the vote tomorrow, for something that didn't happen. The dispute has been about aid to the Ukraine. That aid was given. And it was withheld at the most for 55 days and was delivered within the time legally specified. That is before the end of the fiscal year. There were no investigations undertaken by the Ukraine in exchange for that aid or in exchange for time at the White House or visit with the president. And both the principals involved in the critical conversation, President Trump and President Zelensky, all said everything was fine. No pressure was intended. None was felt. This process that we're engaged in, Mr. Chairman, is going to fail. I mean, we'll have a vote tomorrow. It may well succeed. You occupy the majority here. I respect that. But we're here because I think the Speaker did not follow the very conditions she laid down at the beginning. She said, we will not go down the road of impeachment unless it's bipartisan. This is not bipartisan. We will not go down this road unless there's a consensus in the country. There is no consensus in the country. And we are precisely, or a little bit less than that now, 11 months from an election where the American people can and will make this decision. But I want to conclude, Mr. Chairman, on a little bit more optimistic note. A lot of people would say that means Congress is broken. And we focus, and I think the public will focus mostly on this measure today. But we ought to reflect a little bit about what's happened this week, what's happened in this committee that we saw last night. We had a major bipartisan agreement on funding the government for the balance of the year. It was a give and take process. By the way, the president was pretty integral in that process as well. So he's participated. We can't pass much. If he's not willing to sign it, he's not willing to negotiate.
She looks like she doesn't understand anything he's saying. Like, she looks so stupid, she doesn't know. Oh my gosh, see, this is why I'm not allowed to do certain things, because, like, oh gosh, it looks so stupid.
He certainly did. We're going to have major tax changes, 3 major items that fund the ACA,
were eliminated today. I'm very, very pleased with that. The president was involved in that. We're going to have a tax extenders package that we all stayed here a little bit late last night, later than any of us wanted, but that's because the principals on all sides were actually negotiating. So that tells me that things are going in a workable fashion. And we're going to have a USMCA vote on Thursday that, again, this committee was involved in, and I think will be bipartisan. So while I'm very disappointed about what's happening, I don't think it's good for the country. I think my friend Mr. Collins made some very, very good points about lowering the bar for impeachment and setting us up to engage in this again. I am pleased to say that in a number of areas we've been awfully functional, and I think in a very bipartisan manner. And, Mr. Chairman, that's in part because of the manner in which you've operated this process, a very divisive process, but one, again, in which I think you've been open and fair and transparent. We haven't agreed with all your decisions. You had the opportunity tonight to accept 2 fantastic amendments. But the reality is you allowed those amendments to be offered. You treated them with respect and fairly. And so for that, I extend my sincere appreciation, and we look forward to seeing you on the floor tomorrow and appreciate the manner in which you discharge your duties here in this committee.
Well, thank you. And I want to thank the gentleman from Oklahoma for his kind words. And I want to thank all members of this committee, Democrats, Republicans, and all the staff that have put in long hours during this week. But it was sat here all day and conducting themselves in a very serious and thoughtful manner. I had a number of people say to me that they were surprised that despite the difficult topic before us, that what they observed play out on TV was relatively civil. And so I'm proud of this committee, too. And we have strong disagreements over the matter at hand. I think the president behaved in a way that is reprehensible, quite frankly. And yeah, he did. The aide did.
You know, maybe we should all just consider, and maybe we should all just go. I really don't care about Watergate. Like, if you guys truly care about, like, politics and making laws and shit, I suggest you go watch some Watergate shit. Like, I really just don't give a fuck. I really don't. I just watch this because I think it's very interesting and I like it. Like, you know how the White House has that fucking office where you can just sit in there and then watch and listen to bills pass, you know, like, honestly, I kind of want to live there just so I can just go into the courthouse just to listen to it. Not because I want any control over it. I just like listening to stuff that is, like, actually intellectual and not just some fucking dumb shit, you know? So, like, I just enjoy it just for fun. But if you told me, like, hey, would you like to be elected? No, I would not. I do not like responsibilities. This is like dating is much better than this, you know, because this is like a lifetime commitment. Relationships you can get out of. Like, this is like a commitment. Like, I oh god, I'm so stressed just thinking about it. Like, I'm not really stressed about, like, people trying to kill me, but, like, trying to make me commit my life to one. Oh my god. Oh, very uncomfortable. But I don't know. I just think this is fun. Thank you. I like this. I like how, like, everybody has, like, a civil discussion, like he was saying. Everybody actually knows what they're talking about, and, like, for that person to be like, oh, we didn't follow the rules, and then he's like, yeah, but if everybody did it, then that wouldn't really make any sense, would it? Like, like, that's kind of how rules are created, right? There's a reason why there's a speed limit set, because it would be like, well, if everybody drove 100 miles per hour, would that be very realistic? No. So, like, you know, okay, maybe it's like, oh god, that would make a lot of sense. All right, anyway, so maybe it's because of how much trouble I get all the time. All right, anyways, we're going off a tangent, thank you. But yeah, I like this stuff. Like, this, I'm just really good at winning, especially when it comes to, like, debates. So, like, I've always wanted to do this. Like, it's fun, and I like it. But, like, seeing what you guys have to go through, I enjoy being a free, I want to say it's a mercenary, because I have no ties to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I have no affiliation, I guess. Because you know how sometimes they're like, oh, you went to Stanford, so you have no right to talk about Stanford. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't go to Stanford, so I can talk a lot about Stanford, right? Or, like, they'll be like, oh, you're a Republican, so, like, you cannot give your opinion on Republicans. It's like, okay, well, I'm not, so now I can, right? So, I mean, I just love just being like a mercenary, kind of, where, like, I am not attached to any entity, I'm not involved in anything, and I'm just like, you know, it's just has nothing to do with me. What does this have to do with politics? I'm just saying, I personally, don't contact me. What the fuck? I love this stuff. It's just really, really fun, and I enjoy it. I just do. So, I mean, I don't really see what this has to do with regulating or managing a tech company because I am not getting paid to give you that answer. So, I really don't really have an obligation to help you at this moment. Right? Legally speaking, I have no obligation and I have no reason to be here. You know what? Since you don't understand what obligation means, it means I don't give a flying fuck why the fuck I have to fucking help you when I'm not getting fucking paid to fucking do it. And there's not a goddamn thing you can fucking do about it. You cannot sue me, you cannot kill me, you cannot touch me because I don't want to help you. So get the fuck over it. I mean, I said it pretty civilly. You know, I said I have no legal obligation, but that shit was not, you know, you didn't fucking get it. So I spoke your fucking crackhead language, right? I try to speak like a black person who's apparently a fucking crackhead, right? And I try to speak like a fucking Mexican, like I'm gonna fucking fight you, right? So now you fucking get it. That I'm not gonna fucking help you, right? Not when I said I'm not legally obligated to help you because there is no legal obligation and there's no law saying that I am legally obligated to help you, right? So that part you didn't fucking understand until I said I'm not gonna fucking help you. Does that fucking make it clear, or does this whole legal obligation thing too complicated for you? I mean, there's a reason why I always bring up nature versus nurture. And that's why I kept bringing up the whole don't kidnap my Jewish baby thing just because they're Aryan. If my kid don't want to be a goddamn Nazi, you need to fuck off. Well, let's see. Hitler, okay, here. Let's get this over with since we're talking about history and everything. So Hitler, no. Holocaust timeline. Hitler leaves, commits suicide. So let's see. Why does this thing look so complicated? Oh my gosh, this thing's so much worse on a fucking thing. Okay, so Hitler commits suicide. And what do you know? At the end of the war... Wait, hold on. Where is it? When does the war end? 1945? Oh my gosh, how do you use this thing? Child survivors, German surrender? No, Japan surrendered. Key dates. Oh, hey, here we go. Thank you. Okay, so right here, no. I like Truman. I think Truman and MacArthur are two of my favorite guys. And I don't remember a lot from history, so that says a lot. All right, I don't really remember why because everybody writes history differently. I just know they're my favorite, and apparently to political science geeks, you know, it means a lot. So whatever the fuck that means. So where did the how do I know this? Because oh man, you guys don't know who I know. But anyways, just so you guys know, like I can be, but I don't like to feel like I am trapped. So US Truman, something, don't care. British forces, German, Berlin, Hitler. Okay, here. So he is here, and then where does the U.S. liberate German. Oh my god, fuck. Where did the Japan thing go? Japan. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Suicide. Okay, so April 30th of what? Oh, it's the whole thing? Huh? Okay, anyways. Where was the... Okay. The Soviet... Berlin falls to the Soviet... Okay. What does this mean? Where did the Japan thing? Wait, did I put Japan in here? No, I didn't. Japan fights the war alone or something like that? Okay, so September 2nd of 1945, right here. Okay. Japan surrenders, suicide. Okay, so right here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so Hitler commits suicide right here, right? So Hitler commits suicide on April 30th of 1945, and then Japan surrenders in September 2nd of 1945. And before you guys do anything, Japan joins Holocaust, Hitler, something, I don't fucking remember. Fuck, where did it go? Where did it go? The yeah. So the tripartite, whatever. I don't give a shit. But remember how this contract was signed, you know? And then remember the whole Charles Manson music contract thing, you know? I'm just saying, you know, I don't know, but it kind of sounds similar. And the whole, like, oh yeah, Japanese people are like honorary Aryans, and then, like, he goes and fucking commits suicide before the end of the war. Like, Japan wasn't gonna give up because obviously Japan didn't want to fucking give up. So, I mean, no offense or anything, but given that is not really making me want the support of a Nazi, because it doesn't seem like you're gonna really fight the war anyways. You're just gonna be like, oh, haha, I'm gonna go commit suicide now. So, honestly, like, you're useless. No offense, but even if Japanese people are honorary Aryans, you're just gonna go commit suicide again, right? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, Japan, fight this war for me, and then, yeah, no, I'm not gonna make that mistake. So yeah, no, I'm not really interested in supporting Nazis anytime soon, but thank you for your offer, even though Japan already took that offer, and guess what? You fucked them over and got a nuke thrown on them because of you. So, yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'm not that stupid. I'm not going to do the same thing when, what is it called? Yeah, I just be slapping shit. This is why I love Google, and I don't really care if it listens to me or not, because guess what? I don't care. It's not like I'm selling crack or anything. Why would I be worried? Anyways, if I was selling crack cocaine, yeah, I would be pretty fucking scared, because guess what? I would probably end up in federal prison. So yeah, I would be not happy. But I am not selling crack cocaine, so why do I care? Anyways, so did Einstein really say this? Because you guys have been really fucking assholes and changing all this shit, so I don't even know if it's really fucking Einstein anymore. No, I really like this because it really makes books, like, of value again, not just like, oh my gosh, let's just write a fucking book about, like, no. This is why I don't read fucking books about my personal opinions, like Pride and Prejudice. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I am so triggered. All right. Anyways, what I'm talking about is, hopefully this is really Albert Einstein, but insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Coming from a physicist, we all fucking know what that specifically fucking means. So, yeah, I'm not really gonna be like, oh, hey, maybe the Nazis are gonna treat me fucking differently. No. I'm not trying to die of fucking nuclear radioactive poisoning like the Japanese people did and fucking be all fucking weird and shit. Like, no thanks. I don't fucking believe you. But yeah, anyways, no, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't want them to kidnap my Aryan Jewish baby. Because that's what they did before, you know? Like, that's kind of why children were separated from their mothers. Because they didn't want to be a Nazis. Is that ever... You know what? I understand you guys just didn't have Aryan babies to be kidnapped, but damn. No offense. Anyways. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I think they said they were gonna come back tomorrow, but I don't know when and how and where tomorrow, so we're just gonna be like, I feel like you guys know, I just don't know. Oh, man. Anyways, I'm gonna be not here, hopefully. I don't really want to stream. Streaming really hurts my ass, you know? This is like a long time just fucking sitting around and not doing shit. You know, another reason why I wanted to work as a barista again is because I did so much standing and I did so much walking that I swear to God, oh my gosh, okay. I don't know if you guys used to take the bus a lot or if you guys used to walk a lot when you guys smoked weed and shit like that, but like when I used to smoke weed and I used to walk a lot, like my ass was nice, you know? Like, you know when you cross your legs and then you have that little line on your fucking thigh? Like, that shit was nice. And that's kind of why I wanted to work, like, an hourly wage job where I can actually walk around and move. Because I was like, honestly, like, I'm getting all flubbery. Like, not the cute kind of flubber, but the disgusting, like, saggy flubber kind of shit, you know? And, like, I like to be athletic. I am actually pretty athletic and very competitive. But, besides the point, you know, like, it just... I mean, clearly, but... Well, duh. But the problem now is not, like, oh yeah, how are you gonna get into it? Like, duh. That's not the problem. I think the problem is something else, and I don't think there's any other way. Plus, I'm so good at catching up, it's actually entertaining for me. But hey! I hope you guys enjoyed this, because I'm fucking exhausted! So, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't even fucking hear the whole impeachment thing, and I'm just not even gonna search up like when it's gonna even play, because I don't really give a shit. I'm just gonna go read whatever articles you guys come up with, because you're writing, well, actually, there's so much legal obligations to doing your job right that you can't really write how you fucking want anyways. But we have social media and shit, so just don't get yourself fired. No, this is why I like celebrity writers, because that's just entertaining. Okay, well, at least the old superficial, okay? The old superficial, they would have the most funniest shit. They'll be like, oh, haha, look at Lizzie Lohan, look at what, and then you guys would write like little snarky comments. And it's not even like insulting comments. It's like it's such like, you know, it's like, you describe it without being insulting, and when you describe it, it's not like you're writing lies about it. It's like the truth, but then you don't write it like the truth, and it's like harsh, but it's not really a direct insult. Like, oh, it's just so beautiful. Anyways, just putting it out there like that. And I understand like politics is not really fun to report, because you're just supposed to report what you're supposed to report, which really isn't that bad if you really think about it, because then like people like me see why I said I would never want that job. I'm not helping, I'm sorry. But either way, I do love reading it. Even if it is just exactly what happened. Okay, so I had this biology teacher, thank you, that told me something that I realized that I really am a fucking shitty writer and I'm a fucking so bad at describing stuff. She literally told me, if you're gonna be writing a description, you gotta make sure that in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, looking back at this, you know exactly what you saw without ever looking at the picture. Not like, oh yeah, you need to be a fucking Picasso or some shit. She was like, if you're gonna be writing your description, you need to be sure that whatever you write, you're gonna be able to see it and understand it without looking at it. You know what I mean? I can't say it right, but that's how my biology teacher taught me. And oh my gosh, like, I'm an artist. I'm not really good at writing, so I was just like, all right, I gotta draw really good. But in terms of like writing and shit, like that's kind of why most of the writers and stuff that I praise, it's not just imaginative writing. It's like your ability to describe what is going on without actually being there. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. That's my point of bringing it up. Oh my god. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to like, no, I love writing, but I write like random shit, honestly. No, cuz okay, so the thing I hate about writing for me is, you know, when you write something and then you're like, "Oh, I got to do it again." And you're gonna like, I gotta do it again, and then you just like keep fucking doing it again and again and again and again, and you're just like, fuck, I'm never gonna finish because I just keep fucking writing it again. So that's what I hate about writing. But yeah, that's why I kind of encourage people to write in like bullet points and then go back and re-add everything, because I noticed that if you just keep editing out and deleting everything that you write, you're gonna literally end up with nothing. so, so what I suggested a long time ago was, if you have a thought, write it out. Yeah, exactly like my tweets. Thank you. Because yeah, exactly like that. And then you'll have like all your thoughts in one thing. And yeah, that's why I didn't delete it, because see, I am a pretty good fucking writer, okay? I wanted to be an editor at one point in my life, and then I realized that like shit's boring. And I just quit. All right, anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna go, but don't feel discouraged just because your job is to describe a boring ass event. Like, it really isn't, because if I miss it, I would love to be able to read what is going on. And I don't know why you guys are fighting this, but I don't really want your personal opinion, because then I don't know if I'm reading the event or I'm reading your personal opinion. You know, so if I wanted to read your opinion, I would read your opinion, you know? It's not like, well, that is also the point of being a good writer, right? Like, anyways, I'm done. Fucking eyes hurt. Fucking head hurts. Everything hurts, and I'm just tired. My leg hurts. My butt hurts. My hips hurt. Oh no, my hips been hurting all day, so can't really blame you guys for that. But I'm gonna go. Oh. What the fuck is a convenience fee? Jesus. I'm so sheltered. All right, I'm gonna go. But thank you guys, and wait, you guys can probably, no, you guys can't see what I mean? Why don't I blame Firefox for what? The first problem was you guys, and then now you guys are just framing other people like you did multiple times to everybody. So yeah, no, I wouldn't really believe you. Oh, you want me to fix it again? Okay, so you go here. If I can open it. Nope, can't open it. See, this is time. It's times like these where, you know, you just kind of appreciate the fact that you just never paid for it. You know, because when there's free shit, you know, you can't really be like, oh, I've spent so much money on it. Bitch, you didn't spend a single dollar. Shut the fuck up. So that's me right now, being like, I didn't spend a single fucking dollar on it, so I need to shut the fuck up. But yeah, if I paid $100 for this, I'd be hella pissed. So thank God I didn't fucking spend that money, because I'd be fucking pissed off right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm done. My mouth is dry. Fucking still haven't eaten anything. Probably not gonna eat anything until tomorrow. Oh yeah, and it's times like these where I like eating McDonald's and it's not gonna make me gain weight. Because I think I would need about 1,000 calories because yeah. Anyways, no, I'm just really stressed out from work and like I don't like to be constantly put through this shit. You know what I mean? Like like what? You just thought I was gonna be some fucking crackhead he can control, so wouldn't that just be his own fucking problem? I'm sorry, but this is why you don't take advice from people. You make your own decisions. Anyways, so that's his own dumbass fault. Yeah, yeah, it's too entertaining because everybody who knows would already automatically be too self-conscious to ever fucking listen. So I don't really see the problem here. And I don't care. So I'm gonna go. I'm tired. Haven't eaten all day. I haven't eaten anything all day. Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't want to go anywhere because I was like, I don't really have the strength or the tolerance or the energy to deal with it because I'm like so fucking drained from everything that happens. Like, that's why, like, I'm starting to understand why you guys hate your jobs, but it's not really the corporation that's creating that problem. I think it's just certain individuals that's creating the problem. And I actually have this app on my phone. It's called hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Okay, blind. I think blind is a very good concept. Along with like Glassdoor and Indeed being able to uh, uh, what the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Did I open something? Did I close it? What happened? I don't fucking know. Man, my computer has a lot of problems. Considering how I never installed anything illegal. But hey! I don't think it's the government.